Hello, chat. Um, yeah. uh, I don't know. I like played at Pokemon World Championships, so I kind of want to talk about Worlds, my tournament, what happened at Worlds, discuss some of the stuff that happened because there's like some really cool decks and things that happened. Yeah, it was a fun weekend for sure. Um, yeah, and then have some product, so yeah, like some products gifted by a Pokemon to rip. So we'll definitely have to bust some packs later. Yeah, I don't really know. I feel like starting these these like tournament report streams is so awkward because like as soon as I get started talking about something, people are like, oh yo, why are you playing this card in your deck? And it's like, or I just talked about that 10 minutes ago. Um, but yeah, had a fun weekend. Played Raging Bolt. Um, yeah, it was sick. And then I'm sure there's gonna be some comments about how I said I wasn't gonna play Raging Bolt, and then oh no, AOB played Bolt after saying he wasn't allowed to play that deck. Like, how did we get here? So I guess we can talk about all that today, like how we got to the list itself, the tournament itself. Then some of the other like things that happened at Worlds because there were a lot of pretty fun things that happened. I'll have 533. Yo, facts. I'll have 533. So I recommend making all 6 prizes Crystal. Oh, what a bomb. But yeah, I did play Raging Bolt EX. But the backstory behind it's kind of funny. And like, if you watch the streams, like the first, for like the last couple weeks when I was like playing it in online tournaments, do you want to play Bolt? I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So if you watch like the streams, when I had stream Zoroark, even when I even played some Bolt, I was very vocal about I did not want to play this deck. I felt like it limited me as a player, and the whole point is like we're trying to win the tournament. We don't want to play a deck that limits us. And then here we are playing Raging Bolt EX. Like, how did that happen? How did we get here? And to be perfectly fair, I was honest. I didn't want to play Raging Bolt. Um, I mean, I could go through DMs I have with friends where especially like my DMs with Christian Fontenot. He was like locked in Bolt like from like 3 or 4 weeks before the tournaments. And he kept like telling me stuff about Bolt. I'd be like, bro, I don't care. I'm not playing Bolt. Like, just leave me alone. I even like at one point asked him if he wanted to same 60 Zoroark with me. Um, but there's like a week before the tournament ish, and I still hadn't found a deck that I really liked that much. I mean, I had that stream, like whatever it was, last Wednesday or a few Wednesdays ago, where I was like, I'm locking in Bolt, and that was kind of like I guess the beginning of like the I'm a lock in Bolt arc, but I really spent like 2-ish weeks trying to not play Bolt. Like I laddered with pretty much every deck, and really nothing kind of stuck. Um, there was like one point I was like really high on Charizard, really high on Zoroark. Honestly, being high on Charizard is funny because Zard did do pretty good at Worlds, but I basically tried my hardest to not play Bolts. And then it was about like a week and a half before I decided like, okay, all these other decks suck. And at this point, if I like lock in on it, I have to like lock in a deck very soon. Because if I just like keep jumping like from deck to deck trying to find something that sticks, like by the time Worlds rolls around, I'm not going to be very good at any deck. In order to do well at Worlds, I need to be elite at the deck that I play. So it was kind of just like, well, I'm kind of out of options. I guess we got to play Raging Bolt. And it's not that I thought Bolt was a bad play for this tournament. Like, I played the deck. I thought it was a decent play. But it's just, I mean, the nature of the deck is what scares me about it. Like, you take a lot of 50/50s, you have very little comeback potential. There's not a ton of skill reflection with the deck. But it does have one of the best Goldengo matchups out of like all the serious decks, and I did expect a lot of Goldengo. Poltnor is also like my other like deck I really wanted to beat, and I felt like Bolt had an okay enough Poltnor matchup. Like it obviously is not a good matchup, but it is a fine, like okay, good enough. Like it's not something you'll be seeing every round, but if you hit 2 and you could probably like go 1-1. At least that was the hope, right? So with those things in mind, I'm like, okay, Bolt seems good enough. Like Farms Dango, which was one of the deck I expected to see the most. It's like okay into Guardy, okay into Poltnor, like really good into Grimmsnarl. So I'm like, yeah, let's just play Raging Bolt DX. So wait, I do want to pull up my I like made a spreadsheet actually for this tournament. Well, it wasn't like a real spreadsheet. I just like logged my games through a sheet. Shout out my brother for helping me make this. I'm using his let me pull it up. So I basically like locked in Bolt on ladder like a week before the tournament. And let's see here. I basically locked in Bolt like a weekish before the. I don't really know how to show this the best. It's like kind of jank. Let's see. I locked in Bolt basically like a week before, and I played like close. I played a lot of games. Some of these things like we didn't track everything. I should like I played in so much Joltik Box and like other random decks on like top ladder. So like I probably should have I should have made more thingies deck archetype slots, but played a lot of games of Pokemon. Felt pretty good about a lot of these matchups. And this was all at like 1800 on the ladder. So I'm like, okay, this is a disgusting amount of Poltnor, man. But I'm like, okay, this is chill. This Raging Bolt deck's fine. I played like basically the same 60 for like the whole week. Most Dangos and Masters had some sort of prize manip to beat mirror the other aggro builds. To be fair, I know. No, my deck was fine against Dango. We would have been okay. Like I was talking to a Bon. He asked me if I played Corner Pawn. I said yes. He said, "Oh, that match was like 595 for me." We were okay. I would have farmed like every Dango I would have played against. I was very confident. I was confident into that matchup without Corner Pawn. Like all these games into Dango on ladder were without Corner Pawn. I added Corner Pawn the morning of, like an hour before the tournament, because I was told to. But yeah, I really wanted Dango. I mean, I correctly predicted that it was going to be popular, but that's only like half the battle, right? Like you got to still have Tom help you out and hand you your best matchups. Like, I don't know if it's like win rate's good for like 1800-ish on the ladder. This is my first time I've ever like actually logged games, so I'm just putting it out there just for like documentation purposes. Yeah, that's like roughly how many games I played with the deck on ladder. Checking when you're already 80-20 and testing is kind of wild. Okay, well here was the thing. I was getting DMs about how like every top group was switching to Dango, which was true, and that they had sauce. I was not told what the sauce was, which later turned out it was like Chansey and Sarah Ledge Briar. But I was told that yeah, that I needed some more stuff in the match, that they were prepared to beat Raging Bolt. So I was like, well, yeah, I was 80-20, but that's not a ton of games. And this person who I trust is telling me that all these like good players playing Dango, I'm gonna have to beat them to win the tournament. You know what? Fine, I'll play corner. But I've been like looking for an excuse to cut Iono and CC for a while. So I'm like, okay, fine. We'll take out the Iono CC. We'll play second boss and the corner pawn. Everything will be okay, right? Do you wish you played Zoro? Absolutely. I mean, we'll get to that later. Cause yeah, we'll get to it later. Here's some sunk in LA, bro. Top. How does Cornerstone beat Dango? You have like two modes you can play that match. If you open at 2 prize, or you can go Fan Rotom plus Judge, and And chances are they don't go like CC take 2, you take the first 2 to 3 prizes and you win the game. Or you can go like corner pawn, try to take the first 2 prizes, and then be like, basically it allows you to be a single prize deck as long as you want to be, because you can put down this 2 prize, activate your Terra, and like make your deck function that they can't really touch. So yeah, it like lets you basically like flip like you can just be a single prize deck or a bolt deck whenever you want to be. Have I have a new camera? No, I have like a light, like a ring light that I turned on. It's like been there for a long time, but I just like never turned it on. But since I'm gonna open packs hashtag gifted by Pokemon, I figured I might as well like actually try to look good. No, the whole point is you need to start 2 prizes up. So if corner pawn is your most efficient way of getting 2 prizes up, then swing with demolish. But sometimes it's just like, I'm gonna put down corner pawn so I can go fan root and knock out. They can't go take 2 because I have this corner pawn that they can't do anything. And then yeah, you just like win. Yeah, but like anyway, kind of getting a little off topic here, but I feel good about the matchups. Like there wasn't really any matchup I didn't want to see. Like I didn't have a ton of games in Zard and EV Box. I felt very good into Zard, EV Box, fake deck, whatever. Poltnor is a matchup that I really kind of sus on, but I had so many games into it. We were just gonna send it. Like I felt pretty good about Guardy because of the Chen Pao. The Chen Pao was so tough. Like that was like my favorite card that I put in the deck. It was just insane in all these stage 2 matchups. So we played a lot of games of Pokemon, like locked in a Bolt like a weekish before. I guess we can go over to the list after this because we talked about the preparation stuff. So ended up on this list, but up until like 6 a.m. on Friday, I had no Cornerstone, only 1 boss, and a CC and an Iono. Yeah, I was convinced by a friend to change. Like we were like, I was texting him at like the restaurant about it, and I felt really good about my list. I'm like, I don't really want to cut anything. I've been testing this list for I've been testing this list a ton. I don't really want to change anything. And then I woke up for Friday morning and was like, okay, I don't know why. I just was like, you know what? I don't want to change anything for my deck, but I'll like sleep on it. And I woke up in the morning and I was just like, I have to play Danga, or I have to play corner pawn and second boss. Like I don't know why. I just like woke up and just felt like I had to do it. So me and my friend Carter were on the same 59. He didn't have a 78, an 80 HP Hoodoo, which I kind of clowned him for because he didn't pack one. But I don't think this guy's correct. About cutting Mew, don't. Mew's very good. What's the second boss for? Just lets you be more aggressive. Like the CC is a lot better in like Mirror, but I didn't expect as much Mirror in this tournament. So this is like the list that we ended up on. It's like fairly stocked for Raging Bolt. Like there's not too many cards, I guess, that are out of the norm. Like the main card that isn't in a lot of Bolt lists that I was extremely high on was the Chen Pao. If you've been like keeping up with my Raging Bolt runs for a while, you know that I'm a Jamming Tower hater. Like I've thought that card has been pretty useless in Bolt since Bolt has cut Luxurious Cape. And the Chen Pao, like having low HP liability Pokemon is really annoying in all the stage 2 matchups. Like versus Guardy, you frequently can force them onto odd prizes through Baby Bolts, but that doesn't really matter because they can just Monkey Dory down a Fan Rotom to fix their prize map. And it's in a lot like all these stage 2 matchups where like those kind of things happen, where like you force an odd prize but it doesn't matter because they like prize fix later. They're Iono spamming you, so it's like really hard to put down the area 0, like prep your bench, and then find a stadium. Like they're not only pressuring your like Noctowls with their attacks, but they're also like Ionoing you to like 3 or 4 cards. So the Chen Pao lets you clear all your liabilities in like 1 turn. You don't have to have like the prep turn. Like you can just if you find an Ultra Ball and in an area 0, you can just burst, discard everything. And that's kind of why there's a 3rd area 0 in the list. Like raw drawing the card is really important. but then also kind of synergizes with the Chen Pao because in a lot of situations you can go like area 0, or you can have a already existing area 0. You can Chen Pao to discard your Noctowls, Phantoms, whatever, and then you can put down another area 0 and reload your board with like more useful Pokemon. Uh, So that, I think this card was insane, and it was like one of the reasons why I went back to Bolt. Funnily enough, because like as soon as I started testing this card, I started winning more into Grim. I was winning more into Polt. I was winning more into Guardy. Like I honestly felt fine in the Guardy match with E-Switch and Chen Pao, which I hadn't really ever like felt since Guardy had switched to the Evo lists, like back in like Portland. I had never felt good in the Guardy matchup, but like with the E-Switch Chen Pao, I felt fine. Like it's not a matchup I'd want to run the whole day, but if I ran into like one or two, I felt like I had a chance to like beat them. Like it wasn't like my opponent flips over a roll, so I'm just cooked. Why not leave in Jamming Tower? I just didn't really respect Retreat Lock. Like Grimmsnarl has just much more important things to worry about than Raging Bolt EX, so the Cactus just doesn't really make sense. Straight Pull also seemed like a very bad deck for this tournament because it's not good into Dengo, not good into a Poltnor, so like there's really no reason why to play. Like, I mean, Tord was always gonna play the deck, but like I'm not teching for Tord specifically. It leaves just such like a weak attacker that I just don't want to like just play a switch effect in my deck to respect Tord. And with the like you have like Chen Pao Prime Catcher to like clear your liability. So it's like even if you do run into like the random cactus still floating around, you still you still have options. And yeah, someone earlier asked about 2 Crispin. Like you rarely use 2 Crispin in a game, but only is like raw drawing it very good. Prizing it in like especially versus like Polts is if you prize your one of Crispin, you're like instantly losing. So yes, like you don't mind raw drawing the card like turn 1, turn 2. But also just you need to have it. Like in any of these Baby Bolt matchups, you want to have Crispin, so higher odds of finding it without Noctowl or just not having it prized is very good. But sure, you rarely use 2 Crispin in a game, but it's just that important that you want to protect against prizing. How's Ursaluna? Very good. I think what a lot of people get wrong, and I'm probably like responsible for like spreading this a little bit, is Ursaluna kind of goes with the counter catcher and the Iono as like your sort of like comeback package, and to some extent that's true, but also like this card is just so powerful against Gardevoir. A situation you'll like frequently find yourself in that matchup is like you can Baby Bolt for 2 prizes, you can Bolt Prime Catcher for 2 prizes, but then they'll have a single prizer active to knock out that Bolt. They'll be at 1 or 2, and you can't Gust and like Sada up your board all in one turn. So like that's a massive problem. So like without the and they almost always have to bench Fez, sometimes Clefairy and Mew EX hit the board. So there's like almost always something on the board that Ursaluna can just dunk on. And without the Ursaluna, it is too hard to close out those games. Like you have to conserve your Prime Catcher for your like last 2 prize knockout. You have to use a boss to take your first 2 prizer knockouts. So like and that can be hard to prep sometimes. So Ursaluna is insane in the Guardian matchup. I used it quite a lot. It does lose some power without like the CC and the Iono, but it's still like nonetheless a very strong card, and I would play it in Raging Bolt no matter what. And I know like some people ask me like, why are you playing, like why did you opt for Judge instead of Iono? Like Iono is like Iono and Judge do different things. It's like kind of funny. Like I wouldn't like compare the cards to each other. Like Judge is an early game aggressive card, where you like want to punch them with like like pretty much with Raging Bolt you win the game by starting up 2 prizes. So one way or another you need to do that. Like sometimes you do that by just Baby Bolting for the first 2, forcing an odd prize. Sometimes you do that by turn 2 Prime Catcher, and sometimes you need to do that through Fan Rotom. And Fan Rotom by itself is kind of mid because like they're gonna have their big hand to go like CC knock you out. But Fan Rotom as an attacker with the goal of getting up 2 prizes is a lot better when you can play Judge and limit them to 4. So that is a really key play versus Dango. It's like solid versus Gary. Like pretty much any of these like setup matchups where we need to slow them down for like 1 to 2 turns to win the game. The judge is insane. We're like, Iono is only good in endgame situations, and usually in games where you're losing, which is like already a bad spot to be in as Bolt. So yeah, I like Judge is a play to win card instead of a, like, Iono feels like a play not to lose card. But yeah, in general, I just wouldn't compare the two. They do different goals in Raging Bolt, and it just feels like in this format in general, there's not as many like winnable situations for Raging Bolt by using Iono. Soft deck, I think so. And then other than that, like, I had the E-Switch. I know I've been an E-Switch hater in the past, but it's just too important in the Gardevoir mashup. I would not play Bolt without it right now. I'm already home. I was home yesterday, actually. My flight yesterday, I woke up at 2 a.m. My flight was at like 5 a.m. So I thought I was co-stream or like watch partying the finals, but I was just so tired. Like I I got up at 2 and didn't like sleep very much. So I'm just like, I will not. I'll just stream today when the most labs like gets all the decks and I can yap about my my tournament and stuff. Squawkability, do you see anything wrong with this list? I don't. No, this list is broken. No, like it's funny because like some other different Raging Bolt lists did good, and they are quite different than mine. But I'm confident that mine's better, but we can talk about them later. But I mean, I guess a lot of us were on like the same page that Gen Pilot was very good. Yeah, I'm a huge hater of the top 8 bolt or the top 4 bolt list, but whatever. We can talk about that later. You think Crime's better than Blood Moon? That is just not true. You were just lying to me. We kill Ultra for Iono or CC? No, you like have to play 4 Ultra Balls in this deck. Like that was one of the reasons why I didn't same 60 with. I wasn't gonna same 60 with Christian anyway, because he did like is. I mean, I ended up like switching last minute to a couple different cards. He was still a CC Iono believer, but like he likes like a Grass Energy, 3 Stretcher, 3 Ultra Balls. Like Ultra Ball is your whole setup. You get the Fire Rotom, you get the Ditto, you get the Ogerpon. You play Pokemon. Like it is the like best individual draw turn 1, or it's a really good individual draw turn 1. It's like pretty good throughout the game. I want to max out this discount. Yeah, I would never cut an Ultra Ball. Like I think that this is the correct Raging Bolt list. I like it a lot. I think you like there's not really like I mean, I'm obviously biased, but I don't think I think like all these slots cover enough ground. Like we don't need any of the other tech cards. It's consistent enough. Raiden is so bad. I agree, man. I agree. Okay. You know what? We'll talk about Koraidon right away because I'm sure I'm okay. Yes, Koraidon. It was in a like. All the Bolt lists that did good this weekend, like the one that won Juniors, the one that top 4 here in Masters, they played this stupid Koraidon card. And chat, tell me why I should play this card. If your first response is, oh, you can uptrade on Fez. Well, you know what? I also could play Slitherwing that does that. That also gives me the upside to nuke a Pikachu, Blood Moon, like all that stuff. So that's not valid. Like tell me like what, first of all, like what does Koraidon do that like yeah, like Koraidon doesn't do anything that like Slitherwing doesn't. Like Koraidon was cool when like Tank Terapagos was a deck because you could Oko a Terapagos with it, but like no one's playing Terapagos in 2025. Japan's list love no Mew. Yeah, no Mew is pretty egregious. One Crispin's pretty egregious. Like it improves your max into 1% of Ethan Typhlosion. That deck is fake. Typhlosion had one of the worst win rates of any deck at Worlds. Typhlosion sucks. Doesn't need two fightings. Yes, but the attack is significantly worse. So like I don't think that's real. Doesn't damage itself, leaving it vulnerable to Dusclops. You're never using Slitherwing or Koraidon in those matchups. Crustle, okay, that is valid. Sure, it is better versus Crustle. But like Crustle also sucks. So basically it's good against trash decks. Yeah. Don't play this card. This card's terrible. Like Squawkabilly is a card that I hate, but I would say like I mean I know the cards don't do the same thing. We're comparing apples to oranges here, but like Squawkabilly, I would play 4 Squawkabilly in my deck before okay, that's cap. I would play a Squawkabilly in my deck before I play a Koraidon. Bolt can be also Bolt can be Crustle without credit anyway. True. But yeah, this card sucks. Do not play it. I don't know why they're playing it. There's like no valid argument. Like if I would play Slitherwing before I played this card. I don't think Slitherwing is especially good right now. But anyway, back to yeah, I'm done yapping. Well, I'll yap more about these trash bolt lists later. I gotta find myself. I gotta go all the way down to the end of day 2. Look at me go. Day 2 end. There we are. Yes, huge. But yeah, so yeah, this was the list that I played towards. I felt pretty good about it. Despite like the last minute cut of like Koraidon second boss. I had very few games on those cards, but I just kind of trusted my friends that they were gonna be like the right call. Yeah, that's like something that I like made one of my goals for like next season, and it also kind of also with Worlds was like I was gonna trust smarter people more often. Like too often this last season I kind of did my own thing, maybe didn't listen to my friends that are that have smarter takes than myself. And so when my goat Makani tells me to play Corner Pawn second boss, I do what he says. Did you jinx me? These are undefeated. Day 2 at the end of day 1. I don't know, man. We can talk about it. Now, this tournament was really weird. The 501 start is huge, and then winless the rest of the day. Yeah, it was a really interesting tournament. Like I did hit a lot of good matchups to start the day, hit some closer matchups to end the day. Didn't listen to tier chat. Is that true? I feel like chat told me to play bolts. Do you think Slitherwing becomes a better card at pit? Yes, I think so. I didn't really respect Joltik Box, and I still went for it in games versus Joltik Box. What do you think happened in the last few rounds? We will get there. But yeah, I guess we're on the rounds. Let's just kind of go round by round and talk about things. So, I was like, I don't know. I as soon as like the parents showed up, I had to sit down. Like I was just like so excited to like play Worlds. It was like my first Worlds in like 8 years. First one in Masters. Was very cool moments. Very excited to be there. And then my opponent like flips over like a Monkey Dory. It's Gardevoir, and it's like not a matchup I love to see, but it's one I'm like okay seeing. Like I said before, it's one that I was like favored into in the latter games that I played. It feels close, but also I kind of have some techniques that maybe my opponent doesn't expect with the Chen Pao. And I opened like an egregious brick the first game. Like I think I go draw pass. They Iono me into like effectively draw pass or something. I eventually like get like a Raging Bolt kill, but by that point they have like double guard X set up. I just lose. Game 2 is like an actual like real game where I start Baby Bolt sniping stuff. And my opponent's just like hitting around it basically the whole game. But it like comes down to the like the usual like breaking point versus like the Bolt v Guardian matchup where they like can't. You have just like 2 masks because your only 2 prizer in play, and they like don't. So there's like nothing to Scream Tail snipe. they're ahead or tied on prizes, so that they can't gust around you with counter catcher. I never saw a boss. I did not know my opponent played boss, funnily enough. Um, so they have to hit through the active, and then as soon as they hit that active bolt and go on odd, you can just go like 2-2 and win. Or in my case, my opponent had taken 4 by scream tailing. I had taken 4 by baby bolting. So they like hit me with Monkey Dory to go to 1, played Iono, and I drew both of my bosses off an Iono to 2 to win the game. And then game 3, we had like 6 minutes left, so I'm like, shoot, round 1 tie, that sucks. Then my opponent full bricks. So I win. I'm going like turbo speed, like I'm not even like playing, like I could do more actions, like play more cards down, but like I'm not even doing it. Like I just want to make sure I finish this like unlosable game. Yeah, they go like Team Evo and then like draw past for like 4 turns. So I mean, kind of, we played 1 real game of Pokemon, I won, and then we each traded bricks. So yeah, it was it was like kind of a lame set, but it was fine. And also there was like something kind of funny where I was like super excited that I won my first round. I like knocked out for Prime for game in game 3. And I guess I must have like thrown it on my opponent's side of the table. But then like I pick up for the round, like we'll pick up our cards for the round, nobody notices, and my opponent like walked into me like, well, I don't know how he found me, but like I'm just like walking around talking with friends, and my like opponent, like shout out Edwin, walks up to me and gives me back my Prime Catcher. I did not realize that I lost, so that would have been a tragic card to lose. So yeah, shout out Edwin for giving me like finding me and giving me back my Prime Catcher. I don't know how he like got it or picked it up. Neither one of us kind of knew. He just realized that he had a purple sleeve in his Xbox. That was not that was not his. So yeah, shout out Edwin. That was, I mean, the whole day could have basically gotten derailed before it started because my Prime Catcher went missing. So that was pretty sick. But yeah, it was like kind of like a cringe first round. Couple non-games, but I mean that is kind of this format's. Then the next round we played against Holt Dusk, and this list was a little bit unusual. The thing that got me, that like completely caught me off guard, is like turn 1 they researched away a Genesect. So I'm like, my first thought was this is like an older, like this is someone from China who hadn't maybe played our format as much. So they were playing like an old Holt stamp list. But they were still playing the new upper. Like turn 2, they attached the new upper to like a Dreepy. So I'm like, oh yeah, they're done. I'm gonna Baby Bolt snipe their Dracloak that has their new upper on it, and then they like raw draw into their like 1 of Luxcape turn 2, and it's like, come on, that's pretty lame. And then it's like kind of like the usual Holt Noir versus Bolt match. Like I get the early Baby Bolts, I take like 2 to 3 prizes with it. They eventually like Iono punch. I like whiff a knockout, so they win. And then game 2, I slowly steamroll them with Baby Bolts. And then game 3, I once again was kind of steamrolling them with Baby Bolts. But my opponent like took a really long time to scoop game 1, so we didn't have too much time left. And they had an opportunity to force a tie. They were turn 2 of time. I was at 2 prizes, so they could just use Badoo, and I can't gust and load up a Raging Bolt EX in the same turn, so they would guarantee win. But they chose to swing with Phantom Dive for some reason, which not only left a 2 prizer in the active spot, but gave me Fez. So I need to find Bolt, Energy, and Asada to win the game. And they allowed me to 2. I flip the script. I draw Night Stretcher and Sada, which gives me my Bolts. Sada attached the Energy. If the Sada gives me Vessel, like either my 2 fightings that were in deck, I win the game. We did not find it. So I was like kind of frustrated about that one, because he told me after the fact that like in China they've only ever played best of 1, so had never, like that's not an element of the game that you have to think about, which I thought was like really interesting. Like you don't have to think about like playing to not, like playing for the tie is like a completely foreign skill to them. But I was like, dang, like that one sucks, because like I think I played that set pretty well, and then they gave me an opportunity to win the set, but my deck didn't let me. So I was like, tough. Um, but I mean, it's still like a really close match. It's like a tie is not that unexpected. It just kind of stung a little bit because it was like, man, that could have been 3 match points instead of 1. And yeah, ties suck. We hate ties. Um, what's your opinion on No Owl build a bolt? Terrible. So yeah, I was like a little bit frustrated about that one because I felt like it should have been a win, but it is what it is. Like I think I played well to get to the spot where like I could have won, and sure my opponent did do a little bit of tossing, but it's fine. The next round I hit Joltik, and this is like not a matchup I was like thrilled to see because it's just like without the slithering, it's just not that good of a matchup, frankly. My opponent just drew terrible. They like whipped a Crispin like randomly in the mid game, so I won the first game. And then game 2, I turned 2 Prime Catchered their hands, and then just like won because they like couldn't chain together attacks after that, and they're also just like drawing pretty poorly. So it was like a really lame set. Like I just like farmed them, not because they like threw. Well, they should have gone double Pika, but they just drew terrible. Like they like could never find a Metal Energy game 2 somehow. Yeah, we'll look at all the interesting lists. Like let me yap a little bit more, please. So like destroyed a Jolting box was like really good. So I both of these rounds went to time, so I had like no time to eat really. So I was like starving. So like I farming this guy in like 20 minutes, and shout out Justin, he was a really nice opponent. It was pretty funny, like despite the unfortunate circumstances his deck was handing him. Yeah, it was a good set, a fun set. But I was like, I felt kind of lucky to escape Joltik box with such an easy win. That matchup's like really really close. And then I got this next round. This person was 3-0 going into the round. I got up paired into Raging Bolts without Noctowls, which I was very surprised to see. I believe I went first, and I didn't bench any 2 prizers or something. I can't recall exactly what happened, but they did like the normal like Badoo going second. But my board's entirely single prize, so I just start using triple stab on the Badoo. So they go out of Badoo, Bolt, EX, KO, take 1 prize, and then I just go 2-2 and win. And game 2 basically goes the same way, where I go first, have an entirely single prize board. They use Badoo, but my board's all single prize, like they can't do anything. So like eventually, they go back into Big Bolt, take 1 prize, and I go 2-2-2 and win. But they did like prize their Baby Bolt this game. Like for some reason, game 1 they just didn't go for it. The second game they did prize their. They showed me they did prize their Baby Bolts. But yeah, I guess I got kind of lucky to not open a 2 prizer. But yeah, I like felt like I played the matchup pretty well. I mean, my opponent could have made it a little bit more difficult for like going for the Baby Bolts. But yeah, it was like another like really fast and easy win. It was like funny because I had like a run of these like really easy rounds. So we farmed Joltik, farmed no Owl Bolts, and then I played against the Polish Zoroark deck. This is like the same 60 that Mateus got top 8 with. And going into the round, I flipped over an Ogrepon, and this guy tells me I didn't think anyone would play this terrible deck. Like, he's like, oh, I just thought I would start like 3-0 and then dodge it the whole day because this deck's not very good. And it's like, bro, I like, I told him, like, I think my deck's pretty good. Like, it's my deck's fine. Hop off, bro. Like, and the Polish Zoroark deck is very cool. I'm a massive fan of this deck, but this deck gets destroyed by Raging Bolts. Like, as long as you don't bench Latios, like, they physically cannot take prizes until it's Ursaluna time. So unless you are silly and bench Latios or Mew, but even if you do that, you still can easily go 2-2-2 and win. It's just like a totally free matchup. I destroyed this guy in what felt like 20 minutes. Like, both games were not close at all. I think game 2 I was up like 4 or 5 prizes before like they did anything. And like when you have Mew and Faz on your board, it's like a hoot. Like you're never whiffing. So yeah, it's a very easy matchup. My opponent was not very happy to Happy to see me. Told me my deck was not very good. But it was funny nonetheless. Saw block is their hope. Well, the thing was they like discarded the Ogre Pawn game 1. So then game 2, I like retreated out. Like I made a point to like not let my fan rhythm get stuck active. So it was like, yeah, it was just it's just a doomed set for them. You beat the post arc round 9, told me you're lucky, and you did. And yeah, I remember seeing your tweet that you cashed, and I'm like, bro, this guy got past the Zoroark. Like, I thought that seemed like an auto loss, but yeah. Preston, you are my goat. Oh, lost me over Maractus. More HP. But yeah, very, very cool deck that the Polish players cooked up. Unfortunately has a miserable Raging Bolt matchup, so very easy 2-0 for me. And then this was the set I was most proud of. Round 6 versus Joltik Box. I was 5-1 at this point. I'd seen this person play on the side stream, so I knew that they were playing Joltik Box going into the game. Game 1 actually won because I played 2 bosses orders. Like I was just able to go 2-2-2. They like kind of got unlucky and had to bench a couple different 2 prizes. Like the way that you try to play this match without Slitherwing is you use Baby Bolt a lot. Like you try to Baby Bolt to pressure their other 2 prizers, because if they're smart, they shouldn't commit to hands, because that's like such an easy 2 prize target for you, and they lose so many energies off of it. But so you should like use Baby Bolt to like pressure like Latios or Mew or Miraidon or like whatever they put down, to like kind of force them into basically doing like either taking like a really negative trade like Pikachu, or like make them find like Galvantula or something. So I like doing like the Baby Bolt stuff. They commit to Clefairy, so I was just able to go like 2-2-2 to win. You can't be able to snipe the Pika. It's got the terribility. That would be kind of broken though. Like they opened a Mew and I sniped their Mew for 90, which is like enough pressure to kind of like force them to do other stuff. And then game 2, I really wish this game was streamed, because it was such a dope game. I probably should have lost it. I think my opponent did make some mistakes, but they committed to hands game 1 and then realized their error. And game 2 they went double Pikachu, which is like the nightmare scenario. Because I opened Teal Mask, so I normally like your out to the double Pikachu board is you can go like Corner Pawn, and with Iron Hands they're only ability mon, so you are fine. And like we said before, like benching hands is pretty bad for them. So I couldn't do my like ideal Corner Pawn board. So we had to do the usual Baby Bolt stuff. Like I ended up, I believe, like 2-shotting a like I use the Baby Bolt to like hit into like Pikachu, like through like Gust or a Prime Catcher. But like basically like the end game degenerated to, I had taken 3 prizes via Baby Bolt. Like I KO'd a Joltik, and I believe a Latios or Miraidon maybe. I think it was a Miraidon. I KO'd a Joltik and a Miraidon, and they had 2 damaged Pikachus. But importantly, both their medals and their stretcher was in the discard pile. So I'm at 3, they're at 2, and they have no attackers that they can use until it's Blood Moon time. So, and of course, they're not allowed to pre-drop Blood Moon, because if they do, I gust it up and knock it out, and then they have no attackers left and lose the game. So we're at this like awkward stalemate where I can't knock them out with a 2 prize Pokemon, because if I like KO their active Pikachu with Raging Bolts or a Mew EX, they Mew active. If I KO their active Mew with a Raging Bolt, I just lose, because they go Blood Moon, easy, win the game. So I have to KO with a 2 prizer, or I have to KO with a single prizer. And they like kept doing a bunch of like annoying gust plays, because I was like really tight on energies where they could gust it up. Like my knockdown was like forced me to retreat, which I think seemed kind of good because I was like really low on energies, but it like kind of ended up backfiring for them, because like they had no aggressive win con. So I was just like sitting there and like waiting until I was like ready to retreat them. But I did this really sick play where I Bellowing Thundered his Mew for only 140 damage, because I knew that they had no attack, and I need to have a 2-prizer active. So I used Battling Thunder to hit their Mew for 140, and then use Baby Bolt to snipe the Mew the next turn. And I basically made them have to prime Blood Moon on the spots with like their 3-card hands, and they whiffed. So I was like really proud of that one. Because they like gusted at my Bolt EX thinking that I was like trapped and I had to retreat it to get back into my Baby Bolt, but then I just did that to them. So I was really happy with that game. I think they could have played cleaner and maybe conserve their bosses instead of like trying to like play for the deck out. And they maybe could have won, but yeah, we were like at the end of the table. There's like a bunch of people crowded around, and I was like really really proud to like find a line to win in that one. Like I feel like I was playing really well those last few rounds, and then like I was like, at this point I'm like 501 and I'm feeling amazing. I'm like okay, I'm like winning this tournament. Like I'm playing really well. I'm like farming these matchups that like seem like they should be difficult. Little did I know, this is where everything would go downhill. Do I have a strong opinion on not running Squawk? Yeah, I think the card is not very good because it's just not a very high quality consistency card. Like normally if you open a Nest Ball, you can just go Nest Ball, Fan Random, Ditto, and that's to set up your whole board for the first turn and the next turn. So Squawkability is only a good consistency card when you don't have a way to pivot the active. So like you usually open a 3 retreat Pokemon. So it's just like, it's a really specific scenario where you either want to attack turn 1 going second, which just never happens because you always get to go first this round with bolts. And then so yeah, so it's like a specific situation to be good going first. You never have to go second. Yeah, I just don't think the card is very valuable in Owl Bolt. In Owl Bolt, you need to be aggressive, so you have to play it. But in Owl Bolt, it's not very good. But yeah, I was kind of well, little did I know, it was the beginning of the end for me in round 7. It was kind of cool. I thought this round actually did coach at one point this season. He won the Singapore Basketball League playing a Bolt list that I helped him with. And at one point he was like, James, I want to play like, I'm all the way here from Singapore. I want to play best of 3 against you at some point. And I'm like, all right, sure. We can do that at some point. And then round 7 gets paired, and here we are. We're playing the best of 3 that's was, yeah, that we were, I mean, yeah, I mean, this is a lot cooler than just playing some like random best of 3 after the tournament. But yeah, I feel like I played this, well, after the game I felt like I played pretty bad. But I think in hindsight I made like one big mistake. I mean, the mistake I made was like really stupid. But it's just, that's like the grim matchup's kind of dumb. Like I was able to like chase the only Froslass that was in play. Game 1, which like sets up a really favorable board, but then like some Iono started to like stick, and I like missed a couple turns of attacking. And eventually just got to the point where I like whiffed a knockout on the last turn, I believe. So they won, or I whiffed like a knockout like 3 straight turns. Like, I had a huge lead and then got farmed. And then game 2, similar situation, or I don't think I was able to like wipe out the Froslasses, but I still got like a pretty big prize lead. And I had a way to set up guaranteed win. Like I evolved a Hoot into a Noctowl. I had 2 Hoots, one with no damage, one with 20 damage. And for no reason, I evolved the Hoot that had no damage on it, letting me like, which I guess I don't know why I thought was fine. It was not fine. I like evolved like the clean Hoot into a Noctowl. Did my play. I was at 1 prize at that point. But then my opponent goes double Adrenaline Brain, KO my Hoots, Blood Moon my active to go to 2, and I'm at 1 at this point. But I'm like, okay, this is fine. I still have 2 Boss and Prime Catcher in my deck. My deck's pretty small. I have Fez, I have Mew, I have Judge. Like, I'm always gonna draw my stuff. I go Fez, Mew, play Judge, I whiff Prime, don't have Boss in hand. So I just pass, but it's okay because my opponent has this Blood Moon stuck active. So they effectively draw pass. I have another turn to win the game, and I was so like infuriated because I have a Noctowl in my hand. So if I just wasn't stupid and evolved the right Hoot, I would have won the game. But I draw for turn. I Mew for like, or well, they also like ioed me back to 1. So I drop return. I had like Ultra Ball plus a Knocked Owl. I Mew for 1, which gives me my last Night Stretcher. I Teal Dance into Raging Bolt DX. And at that point, my deck is like 9 cards, and 3 of them are Gust cards to win the game. So I lose. And like, sure, you could look at that game and be like, yeah, you had insane odds to win and lost. Like, that sucks. You're so unlucky. But also, like, my odds were really high to win that second game. And then we were in turn, so we would have tied. But then also, I could have guaranteed win if I evolved the right Hoothoots. So, I was like, obviously upset that like I lost a game that I had really high odds of winning. But at the same time, it was like, it's totally on me. Like, should have tied the set. I was pretty frustrated. Like I think all day I was playing really clean, and then I make that one pretty big error there. I lose instead of tying because of it, and I didn't like get like tilted or anything. It was just, I don't know. Like the whole the rest of the tournament, like I don't know. It was just not the same. We were just losing a lot more games of Pokemon. Like almost all these rounds were like 2-0s, and then the next round versus Grim, kind of similar story. Like, I got like whiffs and Iono in the late game. I win game 1 because of the second boss. Game 2, I got like stuck by an Iono and lose. Game 3, we don't have too much time left. I'm totally destroying my opponent, but there's not enough time. I was like pretty frustrated after the fact because I felt like my opponent could have played faster, but it's kind of on me. I should have conceded game 2 earlier. And I probably also should have like offered a gentleman's. But it was like, it was frustrating. I felt like my turn was kind of slipping away, with like the loss into a tie. Like 5-1-2 is not really where I want it to be. And also like my finger, like my pinky finger was like not working at all like the last round. I don't know what happened. Midway through like game 3, my pinky finger just stopped working, which like made it a lot harder to shuffle my deck. But it is what it is. So yeah, I wasn't like thrilled to be going into day 2 at 5-1-2 compared to where we started out. It was a little frustrating, but I still could like win it. I could go 2-0-1 and cash. I could go 3-0 and make a cut, or I have a chance of cut. So it was like, it was fine. The bracket was really good for me. There was, I think we might go on Limitless Labs and like see. But at first I'm like, there's probably not that many Dengos at 5-2-1. Or 5-1-2. Wait, it was round 9. Yeah. But then if you like go and look, there's actually like quite a few Dengos. Like Dango, I really wanted to hit. I was fine hitting a Bolt Mirror, but there's Dango. There's the Zoroark, which would have been really free. But I get a Raging Bolt, which I'm like fine. Like I'm okay any Bolt Mirror. This Bolt list, as I have the Bidoo, it's pretty taxed for the mirror match, but it doesn't really matter because I draw past both games and get completely farmed. I wasn't really in either game. It was pretty frustrating, honestly. Like, I feel like I played overall like really well this tournament, and then for it just to like end because I just double brick was really frustrating. I like, cause like with that loss, and all of a sudden can't cash. Best you can get top 64, which is like just the box. I know it's like just the box, but it's like, gotta like remember, like we were 5-1 at one point. We had serious aspirations of being in cut, winning tournaments, and then just 3 rounds later, the best we can do is a booster box. Like, pretty upsetting. But it's like, you know what? It's still Worlds. Being in day 2 is pretty sick. Lock in and win the last 2. But I was like really upset after this one. Like I just felt really defeated. So it was like, dang, I made like the one mistake for Scrim that did cost me a tie, and my whole tournament's like just starting to unravel. Like, I felt like I played well versus the Grim, still tied. Nothing I could do in this one. Then the next round versus Poltenor, it's like more of the same thing, where my opponent knows I'm playing Bolt, so calls first, and has the nuts. Like, turn 2, double cloak, one has an energy, they have a Dusclops set up, they Phantom Dive at like 5 prizes, which is like a nightmare scenario in that matchup. Like, they even have like a Dusknoir set up like turn 3. So I still like kind of battle back because like a Chen Pao play, but I eventually just like whiff off an Iono. And then game 2 I prized both Crispin, so I just can't do anything aggressive, so I get destroyed. So that was another really frustrating game because my opponent just draws the nuts as Poltenor, can't win, and then I prize both Crispin, so like just can't win. It's just like I like put out a tweet after this game because I was just so upset. It was like I practiced a lot for this tournament. Everything was looking like was going my way, and then I make one mistake, costs me 8 match points, and everything just falls apart. Like it was just like I don't know, like I'm still kind of processing it all, but it was just it was just I don't even know how to describe it. I was really upset. But it's just like I couldn't have. I mean, no, I could have done something differently. Like that's the thing. I don't want to say that like, man, I got unlucky. I mean, I did, but also like my whole tournament is different if I like squeeze out the 1 match point versus Grimstar. Like my whole like everything is different. So who knows? Like in the 50 in the 40 like the 502 bracket, I could have hit an auto win, been 602, gone 2-1 in day 2 and cut, right? So it's like I like left a match point on the table, and that like I guess that is why my tournament spiraled. So like I can't really say I got unlucky, but it's like it just because it was like technically in my control. Still it still sucks. I'm still not happy about it. And then the last round, this game is kind of meaningless. We like both we're both guaranteed 128 no matter what. Like win or lose, it doesn't matter. So like he draws like double Candy Guardy turn 2, game 1 against me, so I lose. Game 2 he makes like a pretty big mistake, so I can like Baby Bolt, force odd prizes, then prime for game. And then we game 3 starts with like 5 minutes to go, so we cannot finish, we tie, but it doesn't really matter because we're like both locked 128 no matter what. So I felt good to at least like come out of a tie, like at least not lose again. Does kind of suck to have like another like it's like the second time this season I had like a winless day 2. I also had one in Atlanta after like a really strong start, so just like I don't know. It was just I really tried to stay positive, but it was just really brutal. Like day 2 felt completely out of my control, and that sucks. But that's also what I kind of get for playing Raging Bolt DX, because my deck has no comeback potential, has like no tricks basically. So what am I supposed to do when things don't go according to plan? But yeah, that was basically my World Championships. I would have liked to have done better, especially considering the start I had. There was a serious point where I felt like this could be my day and I could go all the way, but it just did not happen that way. There were other things planned, so it is frustrating. I of course wanted more, but at the end of the day, still got day 2 at the Pokemon World Championships, which is pretty cool, I guess. It's my first Worlds in Masters, and like basically my first season where I've traveled a decent amount. So I don't know. Maybe like my expectations are probably a little out of whack. Like, should I be? Well, I don't know. I play a lot of Pokemon. I should want to win. I should be doing better. But also at the same time, like we can say all that, but also say like we did all right. You know. Turo's better. Let's play for Pittsburgh. No clue. I am going to a Pittsburgh. blue shell into red shell into star is kind of crazy. Well, no, it's like if we're playing Mario Kart, I like drove off road a little bit, and then I get like just hit by a bunch of items and died. Like the first part was on me, but then everything else that happened after that sucked. But like if I wouldn't have driven off road a little bit, I like the whole race may have been different. You know, like sure what happened after driving off road sucks, but like we could have maybe like done something to not be in that position, I guess, right? All right, you want to talk about Sanders or Sanders control list? We can do that. But yeah, this bolt list was lit. I would run it back if I were playing bolts. Like not hitting Dengo was definitely a low roll. Oh yeah, like the final thing that like made the whole thing sting even more. Like I double brick the round against against Nico. Round 9, I double brick first Nico at whatever table it was. Right there. And then Nico plays against Daniel Magda, which there is no corner pawn answer in this deck. Corner pawn would feast, and I knew that because one of my friends played against this list in seniors. But Nico, of course, did not have corner pawn, so this matchup is actually not that good. Or bolt the rubber room definitely helps like them stabilize a bit better. So then it was like, yeah, like that could have been me instead of Nico, and my deck farms Daniel's deck, and then the last round on the win it in, Daniel plays against Marco, which is another auto win for me. So it was like I'm definitely in the weeds too far here. Like sure, if like I win, the pairings could be different, but it just like, bro, if I don't double brick versus Nico, there were 2 auto wins waiting for me. But yeah. Yeah, I mean we're definitely a bit too far lost in the plot here a little bit, but yes, it would that made it like that a little bit more frustrating. I was like, man, if I don't double brick that game, it's not a stretch to say top cut was there. But anyway, enough about my run. I'm gonna grab some real quick, and then then we can yap about the other decks. We can yap about Sanders control deck. One sec. Did I get that chair yet? No, not yet. I'm working on it though. I'll get a chair though. Trust. New chair. I mean, the problem was that I would cash worlds, but I will get the new chair. Don't worry. Okay. I mean, at UIC last year where you didn't get a DPL, you would have won and put Gabriel Fernandez in a favorable matchup. Tough. But okay. Anyway, Sanders control deck. What was funny is like I saw Sanders started 2-0 and like I won my round 3 match pretty quick, and Sanders was actually on like the side stream, so it wasn't like it. I don't think it's recorded as far as I know. But yeah, the whole thing was I gotta see him play his deck a little bit. But yeah, this deck is really interesting because like one of the problems that I mean we have some decent control cards right now. Like Elgium especially is an incredibly powerful card, but the engine is like kind of the questionable part. But the Dunsparce is like kind of cool because it's an engine that also, I mean, it is kind of a pain to keep resetting it up turn after turn, but it is a little less fragile to spread, which is very good in the Grimmsnarl and in the Dragon Ball matchup. Like you're not just getting your well, I guess not less good versus Dragon Ball, mainly versus Grimm. Like if you have a Zoroark or a Pidgeot, you're getting Devoed, and it's like, well, this just sucks. So I mean, we're pretty heavily leaning on the Elgium, right? And that's Elgium's card is pretty good. I still think like we're lacking a little bit of power overall. And also this deck looks like kind of a pile. But I do think it's pretty cool, and maybe there is something here. There are a couple matchups that I'm not totally sure how we get Gardevoir. I'm not totally sure. I'm like Grim, Poltnor still seem kind of weird. Because I haven't like played this deck at all. But I'm sure it makes more sense if you like play the deck. Well, I think you do need Corner Pawn to beat Dango. Like you're not beating Dango without it. Iron Thorns, I'm guessing is a Gardevoir card. I'm not sure how effective it is against Gardevoir. But it sounds interesting. Yeah, the deck is cool. I don't really have like a very educated take on it because I've never played this deck before. But it was cool to see Sander bring something new to the table. He did all right. Like went 5-3. Like wasn't like on a win and in. Started 4-1. But then ran into some trouble with some Dragapult decks, which I guess is not that unexpected when like 0 or 1-3 versus Pult overall, which is not great, but it's definitely something interesting. Something new brought to the table, which is cool. I'll probably stream this in the future sometime. I can't like promise when, but it will happen eventually, probably, maybe. It's a cool deck. But I really just don't have much. Like I don't. It seems like a little inconsistent. But Elgium's cool. I love Elgium. That card's awesome. So maybe putting in Koraidon, but Eos probably doesn't have space for it. I also just think Koraidon is a very bad card. Like, the card doesn't do anything good. It is good versus bad decks. It's good versus Typhlosion and Crustle. The card, yeah, please do not play Koraidon in Raging Bull. The card is horrible. I can't come up with a reason. I've never heard anyone else come up with a reason that like makes it a more valid makes it a valid inclusion. Like all the only arguments are it's like basically the worst Slitherwing. Like I think cutting Slither is fine because there's like not a ton of Pikachu in the meta right now. But like if you're gonna play a fighting attacker, like Slithering at least does like something cool, like saves you in certain situations. Like Koraidon doesn't really do that. But yeah, there's other cool decks like there's actually like 2 Charizard Dusknors that made top cuts, which was very surprising because this is a deck that people have not really done. Yeah, it's a deck that's just not been successful for a long time, and it makes all the top 4. I think it's funny. I don't know how to pronounce this person's name, but they got farmed by Justin. And he was like basically the only Poltner they hit. I mean, they hit on round 1, but Justin beat them twice, and that was like one of 2 Poltnors that they played against. And Oyvind was also playing this Zard Dusknor Pidgeot deck, and also only hit 1 Poltnor. That was also Justin. So Justin was just kind of profiting off of all these Zards, bro. 4 Charizards overall, which is like kind of hilarious. Only played against the 1 Gardevoir in finals. On Slither because IR is Pope. Valid. I've seen an Alessandro list. I have. I don't think it's very good, but I've seen it. And Alessandro himself told me he wished he played Crosstalk. Probably in a tournament, or the win-loss con stream. I should probably take it off. The wins and losses were like the friends we in along the way or something like that. No, all the Zoroark decks are pretty cool. Yeah, like the one that Marco and Gabriel played was pretty sick. You know, like Zoroark does have a pretty good match spread. The sketchy part was Dango, and turns out the answer was not Darmanitan's hands, and it was other stuff. So this one had Toad Scroll. I think Marco did do pretty good versus Dango. Yeah, wins 201 versus Dango. I mean, yeah, Eevee's a pretty bad matchup, but all in all, had a pretty clean match spread. Did pretty good. I mean, I really wanted to play Zoroark, but the issue was I was having too difficult. Not only I didn't have this list, or yeah, I didn't have a list I felt super confident in, but also I have a hard time finishing 3 games playing Zoroark, which is something that kind of scared me. Like I didn't want to be tying a bunch. I ended up tying a bunch anyway, but I use corner punting bolts, so you farm Dango. But yeah, this list is very cool. The Toad Scroll doesn't seem that good outside of the Dango matchup. I'm sure there's other applications that come up. And then like the Polish list, I mean, yeah, Marco's run got ended by Polnor. But like Mateus's run got ended by the jank Charizard Dusknor deck. And Mateus's deck is very cool. We kind of looked at it earlier because I played against one of the Polish guys on it. But yeah, you're like a Zoroark deck, which is very good versus Guardy, Grim, Polt. But then you also can be this like cornerstone Monkey Dory deck when you need to be. Versus like the stuff that's good against like Charizard without Dusknor and Dango. It was funny is I sat next to Mateus like around 3 or 4 when he was playing against Kieran, and it was funny because Kieran's playing Dango and he's just like absolutely in the blender dealing with like this cornerstone and a bunch of Monkey Dories. It was really really funny to like. I mean, I wasn't really watching, but it's funny because there's and both times I've sat next to Kieran, he's hit like an egregiously bad matchup. I sat next to him in San Antonio and he was playing against Quad Thorns. And then I saw Worlds and he's playing against this. So I guess I'm just bad luck for a Kieran. But it was kind of funny to see that. Yeah, water bombs they're just for a sob. So I'm hard to pilot? Probably. I was tripping when I played against it and they traded away the second Turbo Energize. I like had to check his discard. I'm like, there's no way we're oh no, there's 2 Turbo Energize. It was like I had to do a double take. This deck gets destroyed by Raging Ball. I just use Maractus because Water Pond is more HP. I guess. I don't really know. I did not make this deck. I don't understand it really. Why do you score on screen? It's like person that's I brought it up. Fell for it. Let's go. My rage bait is working. Because chat, I'm playing online worlds right now. Trust. If this is another deck I want to stream. If we stream like an online tournament later in the week, it'll probably be with this deck. Very cool deck. I'm sure like everyone else is going to be as well. Yes, the Bolt matchup is horrendous. So that's why like I think moving forward, not only does this deck lose some that like it loses some percentages because it like I'm sure Mateus was winning games off surprise factor a little bit because like no one had seen a Zoroark deck like this before, but also at like a regional at like Pittsburgh, Frankfurt, like any of the upcoming majors, there's gonna be more Bolt and Joltik box, so this deck gets a little worse, a lot worse. When I asked the guy I played against what the Wild Fingers for, and he also said Grim, but I don't really understand how that works. Because like you're actually gonna knock out the thing you're sobbing. So I'm not sure like yeah, maybe it does do stuff in the matchup, but I don't understand like how you convert that line. Like what the idea is basically. Like yeah, that is what the line is, but I'm not sure like how using Wellspring versus Grim results in a win. But okay, I will say some guy, I'm not gonna name names, but some guy put Zoroark in A tier on his tier list and got clowned for it. People are like, oh, and Zoroark hasn't done anything. That deck is cheeks. You put it in A tier above my beloved Raging Bolt EX, and then number 2 in top 8. So I will personally take my victory lap, and say that and Zoroark was always broken. I may have played it if I had access to one of these lists. Okay, if like I could have like used my Polish last name to get the Polish Zoroark list, I probably would have played it honestly. You think if I would have said like, hey Mateus, I'm like basically Polish, I have a Polish last name, he would have slid me the Zoroark list? Probably not. There were other people saying like I wasn't the only person saying that Zoroark was good. There were other people, yeah. It was just a good deck. What can I say? No, right? I didn't use my Polish last name to get deckless perms. Yeah, I think that well, okay, Charizard Dusknoir does profit off of Dango being more of a deck. Like, how many did like these play against? I mean, only 2. But did also no? Actually, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, lost to 1. But also like did not hit very many Polnors. I'm pretty sure Oyvind played against a lot of them, right? Yeah. When 4-0 versus it. Also had a Crustle on stream. Be direct, how's it looking for a deer before it's gone? Not good. I mean, maybe with Psyduck, but like Pidgeot as an engine is just not good enough right now. Bro, Greg was making me so mad because this guy kept like Q sniping me with stupid decks. I almost walked up to him at Worlds and told him that, but I didn't. He was making me mad though. So someone mentioned Crustle and Typhlosion. I think like these aren't serious decks. Crustle, like, first of all, if you're gonna play Crustle, you get to kind of do like the mental gymnastics of like I'm taking my own tournament out of my hands. Like I'm gonna have Tom decide my fate. But then also you're just like you're terrible into Gardevoir. You're not that good into Raging Bolts or Polt Dusknoir. And some of these Dango lists you also are a bit sus into as well. So it was like, I think on paper, or it was better than it actually was in practice. I mean, yeah, there weren't that many Crustals that showed up. Like they did fine versus they did fine versus Dango, but then did horrible versus Gardevoir, Dragapult. Not great versus Bolt. Like, yeah, pretty much just what I said. But that's kind of what you'd expect, right? Yeah. It's just I'm sure there's like man, yeah, if Danklin got to 100k, that would have been generational. Yeah, I mean, I just think like Crustle's Master Spread is just too sus. Like losing to Polt and Gardevoir when those are always going to be popular decks is not good. And then also on Typhlosion, I mean, not only were I think these Typhlosion lists were like pretty, well, no, they were fine. They weren't like sus at all. They're just like kind of like whatever Azul was streaming. The deck also has some of the same problems as like Crustle, and like you don't have like a Poltnor, your Guardy's not that good. Like even when I was playing on ladder, I felt like Bolt was favored into Typhlosion. So it's just like you're bad into all the stage 2 decks. Like you basically exist as a Dango like bully, and that's all your deck does. All your matchups suck. I guess you like farm Joltik blocks too. Every other matchup sucks. So like why would I play Ethan's Typhlosion? Like that like also like doesn't have any tricks. It's like one of those linear decks that also yeah, just doesn't have a good matchup spread. So there's like pretty low appeal overall. I did see Ty Matthews deck. It is pretty um certainly 60 standard legal cards. I'm pretty sure Danklin was streaming this. Like Tyler didn't do good at all in 222. But it is certainly 60 standard legal cards. We Evo the we go first, smell what Evo into the ghost and start popping up a bunch of ghosts and doing doing funny things, I guess. I've never played this deck, so it can't be that good. Like Tyler is a cracked player and went 2-2-2 with it. I wish like Tyler would just like play some normal decks, man. You lose a bet? No, Tyler always just plays crazy decks, and like it sometimes works out for him, but this one did not in 1-2 games. So maybe Dango twice. Lost, tied Bradner. Dude, Bradner tied this, bro. Shameful. Dude, Bradner kind of a cracked run. Riley, G-Shen, Tyler, Marco. Unlucky. Yeah, Ross just played like Maridon with like catchers. Yeah. I don't know. Ross. And then I like walked by one of Ross's table and when he's playing sides and he's playing Ethan's Typhlosion. So I don't know. Ross just does Ross stuff. Ross, cracks player, also should play better decks. Yeah, didn't really even do especially well. Part of 1-3. I don't know. 15 lightning energy. Yeah, it's a 3-liner. Pretty like clean looking deck. It's not very good. But I mean, I feel like Ray had to play Toad Scroll. I don't think no. Tyler played Bennett Dusknor to Baltimore, I believe. His best match this season was Joltig Box in Monterey, but that was also like before. That was in Joltig Box was a rogue deck, and no one had really seen it before. Or was like just starting to pop up online. There's a lot of really funny decks that like one person play. Like someone showed the world with Hop Station. Robin Schultz did play like a really interesting Marnie's Grimsnarl list. It's playing No Frost last. It's like feels like a worse version of the Polish Zoroark deck. Like I think it's basically trying to do what that deck did, but a little worse. Like be a monkey deck, a dark type monkey deck that has the corner pawn for the Dango matchup. Cool idea. But it's probably just a worse version of the Polish Zoroark deck. We already looked at Sanders control list. It's pretty cool, but also it's like pretty jank. But like, what do you expect? Zoroark is good. It always was good. The Gouging Fire list is pretty tough. Gouging Fire list is crazy tough. Nah. I feel like if you're in a no-show world, you might as well like you can hand someone a free win, and also submit 3 Gouging Fires. What? Yeah, 3 Gouging Fire, 1 Baby Gouging Fire, 56 Fire Energy. Seems tough. What's funny is I sat next to Michael the second round. He asked me like, "Oh, what was your first round against?" And he's like, "Oh, I got a no-show." I'm like, "Bro, come on, man! Like, you got a no-show." We got a no-show and didn't convert that into a day 2. That is tough. I don't know. Like the Guardian list like Bradner, H. Chow, Davidson played was not did any of them day 2 with this? Or I mean Henry did of course. Oh yeah, no, yeah, okay. I'm just capping. Yeah, they did like yeah Henry day 2, and yeah, Kian was on the winner in tied versus Kieran. Yeah, I'm just capping. But some really strong players were on it, and a lot of them didn't do good. So how good is it? I don't know. I think the meta goes from here. Does Guardy go up or people suck at it? I mean, yes, people will, like, if people try to pick up Riley's list, people will realize that they're not Riley McKay. Uh, I think what maybe some people aren't like. This meta was just weird because you didn't necessarily have to respect some like at regionals decks like Bolt, Joltik Box, like the simple decks are inflated. So you can't ignore them as much because like there's a good chance you hit one like the first round, and if your deck sucks against that deck, like even if your opponent is not very good at the game, you still might lose to them. But for this tournament, less Bolt was expected, like less Joltik Box was expected because those aren't generally decks that like the best players in the world flock to. So like you could play like the Polish Zoroark deck, and yeah, you have an atrocious Bolt matchup, but doesn't matter as much. So it's like, I think meta calls like that are they can't really exist like going into like regionals where there's going to be more like the Bolt's Joltik numbers are going to be back up. How does the Guardiolus do without Drifloon? How do you do the Guardiolus without Drifloon Tango? I think like Flutter means Evo. But I have to imagine Dango will still be popular. Like the problem with Dango is like its matchup spread is really good, and the decks that beat Dango are just in general not very good. They just have like too many other problems, like Crustle, Typhlosion, like those Dango hard counter decks are just bad decks in general. So like Dango is pretty good against the stage 2 things, and then kind of gets shielded by the stage 2 decks at the same time. Because like the stage 2 decks farm all this stupid anti-Dango stuff. So I don't think Dango is gonna be like 25 to 30% like it was at Worlds, but it still should be popular. It's still I feel like Dango's the BDI. I'm not gonna lie. Mateus never lost either one of his Bolt matchups, so what does he mean? Is he just cracked? Mateus is just cracked. I sat next to him, told him, man, I wish I played against you, and he says, I do not want to play against your deck. So, yes, and I do, I have a little, I did play against one of them, and destroyed it in like 20 minutes. The matchup is horrible. I don't know, wait, did Mateus actually like beat a Bolt? Wait, I'm on the wrong person. Did it actually happen? It did. We tied one, and we won one. How? Oh, we're playing. Okay, we're playing No I Won't Bolt. Our deck sucks. Never mind. Oh yeah, our deck sucks. You know what? Deserved. You like bench Squawk ability, and then Mateus went like Squawk CC, KO Mew, Bloodmoon for game. Yeah. Alright, our deck's terrible. EV Box can be a lot of the top decks, including a very much into Dango. True, but EV Box is not very good into Guardy or Boltnar. So it's that this is the problem. The anti-Dango decks, like yeah, Dango is like shielded by the stage 2s because they're just like they like combine, they make up a pretty considerable part of the meta, like just as much more than Dango. And Crustle, Charizard, Typhlosion are in general not that good into them. Box players also regard brain cells, but that's wild. We did see Fernando Cifuentes pop up again with Blissey. Had kind of a fun run. What's funny, like, yeah, I mean, yeah, had lost the win into cash to Gardevoir, which is a pretty dreadful matchup. To get farmed by the one Bolt that he played against, but other than that, like, yeah, farmed Dango and Bolt, which I guess is what Blissey should do. Dango farms the other 8 decks, but gets farmed by the rest. yes and no. I mean, like the prize map manipulation of like the Togekiss or the Chansey helps those situations out a lot. And then also, most of these like other decks that you speak of are just not very good. Like Poltzard and Charizard, I don't think are very good decks. I don't even think Raging Bolt is that good. Raging Bolt's okay. It's not that good though. Like yeah, it's a lot of the decks that farm Dango are just they're lacking in other areas. How did Gabe beat so many Dangos? Code Scroll, man. Yeah, didn't GCF play against a ton of Dangos? Yeah, man. I go Gabriel. Didn't you consider Bolt A tier? Yes, Bolt is it's okay. It's not great though. It does farm Dango. Why is Enzorg so disrespected? It's just a hard I think the main reason it's just so hard to build. It's not seniors. It's just not something it's not a deck that a lot of people have spent time on or like know how to build correctly. Like we like for the longest time people have like been debating like what's better to like how we set up our Zoroarks. Is it Cyrano or is it Arvid? Like we didn't even know that. Like let alone like if we don't even know how to set up our Zoroarks, how do we know like how many techs we should play and stuff? Like now Zoroark is pretty lit. Is Shelter Dango real? I don't know. I've played no games with that deck. I did win seniors and get top 16 in masters, so like maybe. Interesting. We're farming these bolt. This cannot be real. Our bolt matchup is fine. I would farm these if I was playing bolt. Whatever, man. Okay, they go for their one Pikachu, and you go fan them punch their Pikachu, and they cry. Or baby will punch Pikachu, even better. Yeah, no. Do you have do you have an idea why Grim disappeared in Worlds compared to online and NASC? Because the deck has a terrible Dango matchup, and Dango is the deck to beat for this tournament. Gabe is a cheater. That's just not true, man. If you're referring to the clip of him accidentally flipping over one of his opponent's cards in the finals, that's been debunked. But also just like so like claim that you can see new on person very clear he did even in slow playing. Bro, you think okay? The stupidest part about this is you think there's a whole arena watching the match. They're like the best judges in the world watching the game, and you think they just let Gabriel look at his opponent's deck while shuffling it in such a tense moment. You think that they let him stack his opponent's deck. Like you think that the judge, the crowd, nobody said anything. Okay, man. He's rage rating facts. I fell for the bait. No, I just like it really the whole like Gabriel is a cheater narrative kind of annoys me. Like sure he has had a lot of continued success, which in a game that has variance, um, does seem a bit sus. But the guy plays a ridiculous amount of Pokemon, and always has a unique, innovative deck. Always ahead of the curve. So, like, of course he does well. All right, man. You can look away, but still side eye. If you still look down. All right, man. You are getting timed out. You don't know what you're talking about. Nice rage bait, buddy. Nice try. You don't know what you're talking about. Like, just because someone is better than you at like they're better than you at poke, you don't have to tear them down, okay? Congrats on your placing, yo. Thank you. Gonna go to Monterey. You want to play Bull, but Guardy. Yeah, hey, Guardy's not that bad. If you play the Chen Pao, you're chilling. There were some like funny decks on the back end of top 32. Like there's Shemansky's Terra box deck. I did hit him on ladder when he was playing this, which was pretty funny. Um, I actually did play a little Terra box. I did not have the Leafeon, and one of my problems was the Grim matchup was bad. So I assume that I don't know if he played against any Grim. Beat the one Grim that he played against. I would assume the Leafeon makes that matchup a lot better. It's only a 50 HP Eevee though. Kind of sus. Um, but yeah, pretty cool deck. I don't really like too much of a take on it, but it's pretty cool. Um, and then there's in the Ho-Oh box deck. I mean, Ho-Oh's already a deck that's had like not very much success at all. This is a crazy take on the deck. We have like 4 Carmines. There's a Monkey Dory EX, which I guessing is for Guardy, like a single prizer. It doesn't seem that good because like they can still like just Screamtail snipe your Petch. But I guess that's an option, right? Well, I guess if they Screamtail snipe your Petch, you could like amp them. So maybe that's okay. You're just winning that prize trade at that. Wait, I think they did beat Henry the last round, so maybe this is just the truth. Oh, we started 6-0, choked versus a couple Dangos, and beat Gardevoir. Beat the only Guardy we played against, which was Henry. So maybe this deck does find Guardy. Legacy on patch. Well, you probably can just win the prize trade. Like if you go like Monkey, Oko, Guardy EX, and then they just Screamtail you back. Like as long as you took the first 2, you can just go amp, and then it's fine. Like you go amp, KO, and then you have like Monkey to kill the Guardy again, right? Yeah. Maybe it works. Like now that you have Prism energies. And they like don't really like want to go through the Monkey Door yet. Yeah, like maybe it's actually just pretty good. It's a funny deck. The Dengo matchup does seem not that good though, right? Like you have to bench too many multi-prizers in order for your deck to function. Well, and a lot of the Dengos also just had prize card manipulation, like Sarah Briar, Chansey stuff. So like even if you did force someone to auto like cheat you or something, like they still could come back from that. So Guardy isn't real. Well, Guardy shove into hands is pretty real. Like you're not always able to KO hands, right? I think it seems reasonable. I guess also like Pecharunt itself is like a okay finisher. I mean, this deck is still probably a pile. Like that's been one of Holo's box's biggest weaknesses, but I guess if the Monkey Dory EX solves your Guardy problem and it's just like a Grim problem, then maybe you're fine now. But also, I have to say the Dengo match doesn't sound that good, and they went one or what 2-2 versus Dengo. They beat a Bond, but yeah, it doesn't even seem that good. A funny random match played against Charizard, Dragapult, Spidops. This was the Joltik Bolt deck. Yeah. This has to be illegal, man. What the heck? What was funny is I like posted that bait list on Twitter of like Joltik or like Power Glass Bolt with the Crispin Power Glass hands, and that is basically what this deck wants to do, but better. Oh man. Cannot be good. No, yeah, I won't allow it to be good. This deck, it has to be bad. You know what? Maybe it's lit. We're just putting in so many fake decks, man. Mickey Mouse World's Final run, not gonna lie. Joking. Gumi 35, it is my go. But he did play against a lot of goofy decks. Played against 3 Charizards and Bolt Joltik. What? This is probably like random, like crazy Dengo list, right? Yeah, it was one of the Dengo ghosts. Okay, yeah. Mickey Mouse World's Finals run, not gonna lie. We're having a ton of fun with Hollow Box. Oh yeah, the deck is sick. It's just a pile. But it is pretty sick. Any other like the fun list that I missed, chats? I feel like we covered all like the really fun ones that did good. Like I'm sure there's like some other like random ones towards the bottom that like people played that weren't good, but were just random things that like people played. Oh, there's a Frostless Monkey. Someone did tell me to look at this. Yeah. I got the one of Larry's skill. This deck doesn't even like. It seems like a lot worse for his thing going out that they have more boss. We did beat both. Dangos did not do very good versus Gardevoir. Raging Bolts. Alright. We did lose the win it in. To be fair, Flareon seems like a pretty bad matchup. They just use Leafeon and yeah, that seems pretty tough. Interesting. They actually had 2 win-it-ins. Tied one and then lost one. Very interesting. Okay. Maybe there's more to this Monkey Frost last deck then. I did see the John Inglis. I guess we haven't like showed it on stream. Let me find it. Yeah, there are like multiple people on this list. Very interesting list. So basically, I'm not sure this is better than Togekiss. Because like Togekiss, you get all the flips for like the whole game. But Chansey, they're both work to set up. The difference is your opponent can't play around this at all. And they can like chase down the Togepi or the Togekiss to like reduce the impact that it has. And like before, Chansey would have been a pretty bad starter with like the balloon to kind of mitigate that. And like with the amount of cards we draw, it's like not that unreasonable to set up like Academy at Night, redeemable ticket and stuff. It seems kind of interesting. Like Dango does struggle with some of these decks that can like force it onto bad prize maps. So if you have like the Togekiss, the Chansey, the Cerulege Briar to fix your prize maps, that's pretty good. But I don't know how like practical this is like set up. Like, can you realistically get like 1-2 Chansey pops in a game? And you do draw so many cards. Maybe it just works. Zacian is like the best 1-card corner answer. Because you can like push it up, attach, use Steel Armaments, and then attach it again and Slashing Strike and like 1-shot corner pawn. Basically, yeah, it just stops like random corner pawns and like the Zoroark deck and stuff. Yeah, the Cerulege Briar in Dango is pretty cool. Like corner pawn answer and the prize map manipulation all in one. I think G-Shen and like a Bond played that. Pretty cool. Something we like saw a couple times in the past. It wasn't like, I mean, yeah, it popped up a few other times. But this new Dango deck has a lot of space, so it can like make these like random tech packages kind of work just as your core doesn't quite get you to 60. pretty dope, not gonna lie. How many of them like played it? It was like G-Shen, a Bond. It was just G-Shen and a Bond. Well, they dude, I'm sure more of them played it in day one. Koraidon in chat, that's wild. Koraidon, you're a fraud. Oh, okay. Was there any other? Oh, there's like these Charizard Drago. It's not Poltzard, it's Zard. Poltz. It's like 331 Poltz, like a thicker Charizard, like that kind of popped up a little bit. They're like more than one of them, if this like thinner. Less Polt, more Zard. I'm pretty sure I hit this guy on ladder. I remember like Grab Mountain Max Belt Poltzard that I hit. I don't think this has legs. Like, we still probably get farmed by by Gardevoir. That was my issue that I kind of ran into. Like, I wanted to like Poltzard. The problem was that like I was losing a lot of games to Poltnor, and then also Gardevoir was not that good of a matchup, surprisingly. You know, playing Raging Bull this Saturday would be a banger. Well, it's not bad. It's alright. Well, it's okay. No, I don't wish I played a different deck. Like, when I look back at my own run, I mean, a lot of it was... Most of what went wrong was out of my control. Also, I played the deck to target Dango. And there are no Dangos here, so like sure that was a low roll to hit none of them. It's alright. Like, I should have probably played a different deck in the first place, but where I was at in my testing process, I think I had to play Raging Bolts. And I don't like regret playing it. Like, I think it was a fine play for the tournament. I think I had the best bolt list. So sure, some dumb stuff happens. Maybe I could have been better. I could have been better. Maybe that changes the outcome. But yeah, like I don't like regret playing bolt. Riley McKay didn't hit one Grim. I mean, that makes sense. That list is not good versus Grim, but Grim wasn't like a very good play for the tournament, so. Riley hit 4 Guardians. That's crazy. I didn't even realize that. So be 2 Charizard. I mean, that much is fine. Yeah, never mind. I'm just capping. But Dango went 0-3-1 drop. Where everyone was playing Dango. That mirror match is also kind of abysmal. Match a bit are so lucky. Well, like, of course, like you don't win a tournament by low rolling your matchups. Like, yeah. it happens sometimes. Like, if we look at Osherlin's like run, like bro didn't play against like any Poltnor, which is like a terrible matchup for this version of Charizard. Like, it doesn't. You have to get a little lucky. Like, you don't go deep in one of these bigger tournaments by hitting a bunch of bad matchups. Like, you have to get the right run of matchups in the first place. Talk about your goat wash this weekend. Which one? Azul? So Flareon slacking and Bolt. I mean, losing to slacking is tough, but like Flareon and Bolt aren't like that surprising. I said Guardian won again though. It would have been cool to see something else win. I didn't like the narrative that like people were trying to push about how like Guardy, people finally respect Guardy and now it wins, and it's like, first of all, I don't think Guardy was like, at least recently, hasn't been disrespected. And second of all, I don't even think like Guardy wasn't even like the priority number 1 or 2 to beat in this tournament. Like, I think Poltnor and Dango were like, yeah, were bigger priorities to beat, and yeah, like it's also just like, like kind of impossible to attack for Guardy to begin with, but also it's just like it's not like Guardy's just so broken that like everyone was ready to beat it and it still won. Like it was fine. Like there were just more important decks to beat, and Guardy just happened to come out on top. And also like Riley's list is pretty good, right? Like the Drifloon line is not that good for Stengo, and they're all playing Scrapper, but I assume this Flutter Mane Devo play works. So I feel like Poltner's worst matchup is itself. The deck do be kind of bricky. You said that you only focus on being good decks, you only have bad decks. And that, I mean, that kind of is Dango's problem, is you do have a very good time into the top of the meta, but like when you don't hit the top of the meta, it's bad. What's the plus of Flutter Mane versus Klefki? Well, Flutter Mane is better for setting up the like Devo plays, because you can damage like the active, putting it into Devo range, and kind of soften up a bench one as well. Like you're using Klefki as like an annoying thing to like shove early, but you're using Flutter Mane as an actual attacker. Was there anything else we wanted to look at? I think we like kind of touched on all the unique decks. I guess we didn't talk about like Tord slash like I think Kato also played this like straight pull deck with like Pseudo Wudo, Corner Pawn, Maractus, like very interesting take on straight pull. Straight pull did seem like a pretty bad play for this tournament. It's like you're bad into Poltnor. Well, you're like fine into Poltnor, but you're bad against Dango and Guardy, so it's just like, why am I playing this deck? And this take kind of tries to fix that. Like you have the Pseudo Wudo, which I'm guessing is for, I don't even know. What is the Pseudo Wudo even for? Like, how are we like applying this in some way that's relevant? Like obviously like Corner Pawn is for Dango. But still, I think still seems kind of sus. Like the reattachments to this Corner Pawn, pretty slow. Guardy. Well, what are we trapping versus Guardy? They can confuse us with Monkey Dory, or just knock us out with their other things. But maybe it's just like more bolt sauce. I don't know. Can it go 2-0 first? Dango. Mew. Oh, it would. Oh. Does that work? So you trap the Mew, and they keep hitting you back for 20 each turn, which you monkey back. So as long as you have more monkeys than them, you're fine. That actually might work. You do kind of struggle into Guardy if they can do like, maybe that's your punish to their like dumb like Clefairy Mew line. Like you just win if they do that because you go like Pseudo Wudo plus monkeys. Yeah, it's interesting. Maybe that works. I haven't like I haven't like theoried or tested that at all, but it seems interesting. Maybe it works. I'm also like unsure about Corner Pawn. Like you can't like set up fast like some of these other decks can. But if people are like dropping the Scizor, then you probably can make it work, right? But also Tord did like do pretty bad with this deck, so if Tord can't win with it, then like who can, you know? I think Tord went like 3-3 or something. Yeah. Pretty bad. Lost a couple Polnars. Like I don't think it's like that unexpected, honestly. I don't know. Polt mirrors in general are like feel like really degenerate, and then like Polt Nor, especially in the Polt Nor mirror, it's just gross. Like, okay, I'm gonna use Badoo on you. Oh, nice, you whiffed your evolutions. Curse Blast, Fan Dive, shake my hands. Or can attack with Corner Pawn. It's cap. There's luminous energies. The seniors list from the final is the same one that top 8 masters. Same one that Marco Cifuentes played. So you want to see Azul's matchups? That's actually a good shout. I never looked at them. We can see. I think you went 1-3 drop. A lot of Dangos that did bad. Ian Robb. Zul Garcia Grego. There we go. Lost a couple mirrors and we lost a Grim. Bro, what? I mean, Azul's list was like pretty mid into mirror. Like we just had the baby. So I don't know if like any of these ones had like more technology. Toads. Okay, man. All right, buddy. Okay, they wanted it more. Can't fault them for that, honestly. Okay, so that seems pretty bad. We lost a mirror when like they weren't playing the baby. That's wild. Okay, interesting. Well, probably some unfortunate circumstances occurred for our heroes. Will GG. Did this Grim have any like Dango sauce? And the Badoo? Okay, man. Interesting. Well, rip Azul, not gonna lie. It was wild to see like all the big names like not day 2. Like there was like some like rumblings of that like on like the floor when the tournament was happening, but like it wasn't until after like day 1 that like I was like looking at Twitter and kind of realized like, okay, wow, so many of the game's top players are not participating in day 2. Like if you like there are some big names that cut, but like compared to some other world's top cuts like this, well, it's hard because like we don't have as much information about like the Japanese players, but like there are some big names, like don't get me wrong, but it's like compared to some other ones, like 2023 worlds is like pretty crazy, like all like insane names. And look at this one. It's like, I mean, yeah, I'm sure most people like who play a lot of ladder know who. I mean, yeah, this one's pretty stacked. You got like Azul, Pram, Tord. Well, 2022 was like the year that Andre won. This one was crazy. Estrada, Daichi, James Cox, Kai Wynn. But yeah, like most people hadn't heard of Justin. No, like really no one had heard of Riley until like before NAC. Like it was cool. It was like a really really sick tournament. What did Ryuki play? I think he went straight pull with Toad School. I sat next to him like or a couple tables down from him one round. I believe I haven't like looked at his list, but I'm pretty sure that's what I heard / saw. I'm pretty sure it's straight pull with Toad Scroll. Yeah, I saw like a Luxcape Toad Scroll on his board. And there's also Crystal. Okay, this is actually a pretty spicy list. There's an LGM. There is Sparkling Crystal. The LGM moves an energy from one of your opponent's Pokemon to another. So you can move like the new upper off a Holt in the mirror match, I guess. I mean, maybe the Toad is like lit versus Guardy if you can like they like drop their Mew or Clefairy early and then you can kill it and then like have it stuck in the disc. Well, they have Super Rod. No, that has to be fake. I think Straight Pull it's kind of an underpowered deck overall right now. Like the ghosts do so much for you. But there were like these 3 people who I kept like winning Mickeys with it. So people like, Straight Pult's tough. When it's like, no, Straight Pult sucks. Straight Pult is not tough. Yeah. I mean, we could get like really deep in here and just like look at like every random deck that they do, but I don't really want to do that. Chat, do we Do we rip these ETBs now, or is there still more worlds yapping to be done? How do you feel about playing Cornerstone Bolts? Card's good. As long as that Dengo's like the deck to beat in the format, you should play it. Like Karma Scully. Alright. I don't think this deck is fire. It loses to Dango, but here it is. I don't even know why the Mandibuzz is here. I already did yap about Koraidon in Bolt. Nice try, Koraidon. I don't even know, man. How do you feel about the seniors winner? I mean, I wanted to see Gabriel win just for the history of it, and Gabriel is one of my goats, but it was cool, like really cool storyline to see someone from China not only win when they like haven't played our formats, just been an official country for a couple years, but also like that kid played really well in finals. Like there were a couple things like sequencing things that he did that I mean, even when I was watching it, I saw him play the Arvin, and I'm like, what are you doing? But then he like grabbed the prime catcher and I'm like, oh wait, this is genius. Like, most people would not have seen like the Arvin prime line to like increase his odds of winning. But I think like someone did the math, like Henry Brand did the math, and he like increased the chance of winning by like 20% by doing that. And I mean, at least at first, I thought he was tossing by playing the Arvin. So yeah, it was sick. I think he played pretty well. It would have been nice to have like a real game in game 3. Like Gabriel was definitely experiencing some unfortunate circumstances, like back to Blood Moon game 1. There's like the drama of the flipped card. And then Gabriel wins like a pretty sick game 2, and then game 3 was just kind of a non-game because Gabriel's deck didn't work. Yeah, it was really cool to see like someone from China win, like country that hasn't had competitive Pokemon for very long. Was such like an innovative deck as well. Like really, like I know like Azul was streaming Joltik Dango before Worlds, but like I don't think anyone was like taking it seriously. They're like, this is just like another goofy deck in formats. Which Dango from Day seems the most consistent overall for most players. I haven't like going through all of them because there's so many lists. I feel like Landon's was like really straightforward though. It's probably Landon's, right? Well, I don't know. There's only 2 ciphers. There's 2 Brocks. I don't know. Like I'm not sure about the supporter split. I haven't like try hard at Dengo enough to know. Like, it might honestly be like Piper or Cyber 3 Arvin and a Gear Artisan. Well, they're probably like all about equivalent. It's just like whatever tech is better. I don't know. But yeah, there was a lot of Dango that popped up. Good. Dango's a very good deck. Even with all this Dango 8 in format, there's still a bunch of them in top 8s, top 16, top 32. China started competing on skateboards recently. They're already on top. They're robots. Bro, China's just built different. What can we do? Probably having no counter catcher was so odd. Well, if you just flip heads on Togekiss, you don't really care what you're knocking out. You can take 2 prizes on some dumb single prize Pokemon or take 3 on some dumb multi-prize Pokemon. So, like, as long as you flip like 1 Chansey heads in a game, it shouldn't matter, right? Not Chansey heads. Togekiss heads. It shouldn't matter. Yeah, the Sanders Pidgeot control list. Pretty wild. The Dengoist, Chanseys, and Tickos really. Yeah, it was really fun to see like I mean everyone had like the same idea of like, okay, we need some kind of prize map manipulation as Dango, and people came to different conclusions. Like there was like the Togekiss, there was the Serralage Briar, and like the Chansey ticket. Like not everyone came to the same conclusion on what was best to like help you take extra prizes, but a bunch of people came to the same idea of like we need some way to have better prize maps basically. So it will be fun to see like what the next step in Dango is, because like Dango has so much space to like play, not like whatever it wants, but it can play a decent amount of text. So is there some kind of like next step of like Dango, like I mean baby Dango feels basically mandatory, right? But like is there some kind of like better option than the Togekiss? Like what's the next step? Or was one for those tragic prize cards? That was really sad to see her run end like that. Like, yeah, it did kind of like spark the whole like prize card debate on Twitter, which happens like anytime some big game is decided by prizes, everyone screams and cries about how prizes are such an unbalanced mechanic, and we're playing such like we're playing for thousands of dollars that shouldn't decide games that way. It's just like, come on, man. We're complaining about luck in a card game. Go play chess. Like, get out of here. Do we ever call second as Zengo? Maybe. Yeah, like obviously prize cards in big moments suck, but like I don't know, kind of is what makes Pokemon fun. But I will say, prize checking, the time it takes the prize check has gone too far. Like I felt, and maybe it's just Worlds, so like you're playing against a lot more serious players who are like prize checking thoroughly every single round. But I felt like some people were getting pretty shameless with, like the 2 minute plus prize checks. Like it feels really bad when like if both players are spending 2 minutes prize checking each game. That's like what, 12, like it's like 25%, a quarter of the match that we just lose just because we're like, I mean it is important that you prize check, but it's just like some people don't go too far with it, but like I think Pokemon needs to do something about it. It's it's a problem that they haven't like taken a stand on any of it, and people are like using the time that they're allowed to. It just like makes tying and the game worse. Piper had no outs, so it was not a skill issue at all. Those moments where luck that screwed you over. I mean, sure. But it's also it's like a 1 in 1,000 event. Like I'm sure there was like some moment that Piper had like somewhere in the tournament where like, I mean, yeah, where like one of her opponents got really unlucky. Like it's Pokemon, it happens. Like it sucks that your tournament ends that way, but like it happens. Like I had a game where I had like a 9 card deck and I was drawing 3 cards when I have 3 Gust cards in deck and I whiffed all of them. Like that sucks, but like there's nothing you can do about it. Like it's just, it's a part of the game. Like if you want to play a game that has no luck whatsoever, just go play chess. Like it's a card game. It happens. Especially during your opponent's turn. I try to as well, but it's like hard with like the language barrier at Worlds, because like some of those people speak absolutely zero English, so it's like hard to like, when you both speak English it's fine because it's like easy to like communicate, to understand what's happening, but like a couple of my opponents spoke absolutely zero English, and like it's hard to explain what you're trying to do to them. No, I thought it was really sad to see Piper's run in that way. Like I um would have loved to seen her like win the whole thing. It would have been a really cool story, but yeah. I mean it just sucks, but like it happens. Like it happens every year. But then also like Justin Prize like 3 Bolts in one. Like, and that was pretty sick. So like I don't know. It's lame, but you know what? It happens. It's a card game. If you don't like prize cards, go play chess. You were scared of that. There was one of my opponents who like didn't speak any English, and like the whole game they were like cutting my deck. Like after I'd put it down basically immediately. And I put it down one time. I waited a few seconds for them to like pick it up and cut it. They didn't. So I go to use Fez. And then as soon as I start drawing cards, they call a judge on me for not letting because I didn't let them cut my deck. But it was just like, bro, what am I supposed to do? You speak absolutely zero English. And the whole game you've been like picking up my deck immediately. Like yeah, like it wasn't like some people speak like a little English, so it's like they understand like what like do you want to cut means. But that person like I mean, yeah, they just couldn't even explain to like the judge in English like what happened. Like they didn't even like know what the word cut meant. So it was just like, dang, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. But it was fine. The judge got it all sorted out. It was chill. AOB, what did they announce? Yes, sir, you missed it. Not much. Okay, World's finals in the Chase Center. It's gonna be pretty lit. That's crazy. What happened with the judge call? Well, they got the translator over. Translator talked to the other person. Other person said, I had my deck down for like 5 seconds, which the judge said, yeah, you've been communicating non-verbally the whole game. 5 seconds is a pretty fair amount of time to cut someone's deck. Like, it's fine. Nothing happens. Like, it was funny because we're like at the end of the row. So a bunch of, and it was like top table. So like a bunch of people were like crowded around. And I just like, I can't really fault him for it because like, he doesn't know me. He doesn't know that like I'm just like we were running out of time. I was just like I wasn't just gonna sit there and wait all day for him to cut my deck, but it's just like, come on, man. It's a pretty silly thing to like call a judge on. Like, so every world's competitor should learn how to speak every language with a minimum of first or second cutter tap scoop. That would make it easier. Yeah. Like most people do at least know like first, second, like those things, but yeah, that person didn't know any of it, which made it a lot harder. Yeah, just prevents unnecessary things like that from happening. And in general, like a lot of the rounds went like deep into overtime just because like there's like so many translation, uh, like there's so many judge calls where I have like multiple translators over to like communicate things, and that takes a while. But I mean, it's fine. Worlds is fun. It's really cool to have all the competitors from like Asia and all those countries. It really makes like a sick atmosphere. It's just like awkward sometimes. The language barrier. It was fun though. Like I played against in my 11 rounds, I played against 11 different countries. So it was like, yeah, it's pretty sick to play against a lot of people I would normally never get the chance to play against, like Singapore, Japan, China, what Taiwan. Right, let's like got 20th. I tested Sunbriar Bowl. It wasn't that good. It was just like not practical. Um, it's all right though. You're super inspiring. You've been one of the only YouTubers. And you've been one of the only YouTubers that you knew. Still crushing day one and playing Raging Bull. Which one's the pros count out for Worlds? Yeah, I appreciate that. Like it was cool to like be like, well, yeah, it's kind of sick to be the. I mean, I guess like Kieran and like Piper have like YouTube channels, but like yeah, it was cool to be up there as a content creator. Pretty sick. I don't know. I mean, I didn't want to play Bolt though. I was also a content creator that was responsible for like hating on Bolt. Where's my new chair? Not here yet. Don't worry though. It's trust the process. Kieran tying the Witted on stream was so sad, man. It just sucks. Like tying a Witted in. There's like nothing. Like what are you supposed to do? Like you can't do something stupid and like roll for a game, but it's just like, yeah, it just sucks. Dude, what the heck, Dab? What decks do you think are the play for pits? I mean, I think Dango's still the deck to beat, but in general, there's gonna be more of like the jank decks that kind of prey on Dango. So I don't know. I guess like what's good is probably still gonna be good. Just some like the fringe stuff that like Zoroark that are maybe targeting like a more narrow meta are gonna have a harder time in like Pittsburgh where the meta should be wider. You're doing the one term time code thing, right? No, that doesn't start until September, I believe. What was your process for going into day two? Like, what was my thought process? Like, how did I feel? Or like, oh, bands out of family, bro. Facts. Scrim fraudulent now. I mean, kind of. You have a terrible Dango matchup. Like the Dusknor, like the Zard Dusknor, like helps you, I guess, for stuff like Bolt and Guardy and Dango, but it seems pretty bad versus Polnor, so I don't know. Doesn't seem that good. Bro, Dab, you're spamming so much. You might have to get timed out. It's just too much. Yeah. I think Grim is like low-key fraudulent. Like if your deck loses to Grim, like that's your worst matchup. Um I think that's fine. Because like there's a 20% deck that destroys Grim Snarl. Oh wait, I want to see something though, because like last year Drago was like 20%, like similar thing where it was like went from like 20-ish to like 30. And then what was it at Baltimore? Like statistics. Drago went from like 25 to like 28. And then what was it at Baltimore? I think it was like 18 or something, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 17. Like it stays flat. But the thing is, like, Drago was a harder deck to play. Uh, so I don't know. Dango's like an easy deck that also is a broken deck, so I'm not sure like be the same. Alright, Dab, you're getting timed out. Grimace is free to any plus 3 boss or prime because it's remove the process instantly, then what? I mean, not exactly, but having a lot of gust does help. Oh man, yeah, Worlds was pretty fun though, and definitely a lot of interesting things happened for sure. All right, I don't have anything really, nothing else to really say about Worlds, so I guess if yeah, y'all have any questions about like what I think about like the Worlds meta, the results, my run, my list, anything like that, can yap about that now. I was Bull against Piper Dango. Fine, very good. How good do you think you'd have done if Bird controls a viable deck? I think that's just kind of a dumb hypothetical. Like the deck is bad, so like we're like missing some component that like makes it good. So it's just like I don't know, like what component are we adding that like makes it good now? Yeah, I will be coaching before Pit. If I were playing Bolts, I would 100% run that list back, and I don't think like it's hard because I'm not sure. Like, if I was given like 3 weeks to prep and start over, I'm not sure I would end up on Bolt again. But it's also just like, yeah, I didn't do as good as I wanted to do. But also, it's not too like we're not like I think going too far to say that like top cut was in the cards. Like if maybe like I don't make the one mistake here, I maybe get like a little bit luckier, like top cut is there. Like it's not out of the realm of possibility. So it's like difficult to be like too critical of the deck. I think Zorok is better without Darkness, and there's better ways to beat uh Dengo. But Zoroark going forward. That seems awkwardly placed because there'll be more of the jank decks popping up, like bolts. Like the builds of Zoroark that beat Dango tend to have really bad Joltik and Bolt matchups, which are decks that are more popular in like regional settings. So I don't expect Zoroark to be as good as it was for World. It's probably still a fine play, but I think the meta will kind of shift out of its favor. I think Glass Trumpet, you're like a late game reacher or good in mid game. I actually never find myself needing that. I think Bolt is good for a pits. Sure. Like, I don't really ever find myself like running out of energy. Like, if I don't have energy on my board, I can just use blood. Zorak is a very adaptable deck. Maybe there's like some kind of Zorak deck that you could build that's like better and other stuff. I don't know. But also, the Dango moving forward is probably going to be something that's like better versus like Corner Pawn and Toad Scroll, or have like more answers to that stuff. So those same tricks may not work. We'll see. Like Corner Pawn and Toad Scroll stocks are basically at an all-time high right now, so have to imagine Dango will try to be prepared. If I somehow got gifted the Polish list, I probably would have played it because this list is just so sick, and I maybe could have gotten the like Marco's list. I don't know. But I don't know. I like could have played it, but I didn't really want to. What, do you have any thoughts on Poison Roaring Moon? Is your favorite deck? Recently won at locals with it. It's a decent play for regionals. I did try. I actually did ladder some with Poison Moon actually before Worlds. I just found it to be like too clunky. Like you just lose a lot of games because your deck's kind of a pile. I mean, having like the donk factor is really strong because everyone's going second, and you are like also people are just gonna like start one Pokemon against you. Like that's gonna happen. You get free percentage versus like Guardian Hole just because you're a poison deck. But I think when you're like aren't donking people, your spread's kind of sus. I think like the guy who like won the regional the SPE with Poison Moon played it the world in 1-7. There probably were some no-shows in here. But this does look pretty bad. There probably were some no-shows in here, but we effectively went winless. Yeah, the gouging fire 56 energy. Those are the worst matchups. Oh. If your deck doesn't meet Dango, Poltnor, Bolts, you're probably not serious. Your deck still doesn't have any good matchups at that point, man. I don't really have too much of a take on Sanders' deck. It's like cool, but I don't know how good it is. Our AOB, yo, thank you, Will Still, you're my goat. Yeah, I don't think the Dodon control deck's that good either. A 4/4/4 Guardy Worlds list? I did not. Is that one just like no-showed? Probably, right? One's 4/4/2/2. I like it. There we go. Okay. I like how a lot of like the Chinese players who no-showed just had like really goofy decks that they submitted. That's funny. People are I mean, I'm sure it's like not that cheap to get from China to the US. And a lot of the Chinese just like no-showed with like funny decks. Bro. So like in like future years, if you're playing at World and you see you're playing with someone from China round one, you're like pretty excited because there's like a good chance that they're like not gonna show up. I'm actually thinking corner says to beat Denko. I mean, you can beat it without it, but like I mean, just destroying Dango is pretty worth it right now. Met a dude from Singapore and he said it was 1,200 to head over here. That is yeah, it's not cheap. I don't know like how like they're like if they get like stipends at all or anything over there. Like in the US, Europe, LATAM, like you maybe could get some of your trip paid for. Would be tough. I just win and you just profit. Trust. China players keeping up with our meta have the money guarantee it. Is that true? I think there was any stipend stuff for China. RIP. I have like no clue how China's structure works. Like we get basically no data. Like I know their format's completely different than ours, but like we don't hear about any of that stuff as far as I know. I don't even know how they qualify. Like at least with the other Asian countries, we have like kind of an idea. Or no, like we like know how it works, right? There is less information, but like we still like know how it works. Bolt's your Dango if you're participating in a tournament in 1 month. I mean, Dango's the better deck, but Bolt's not bad. Shinbao in 3 areas here, the correct play. Yes. Jamming Tower sucks. Chien-Pao's broken. Alright, chat. I feel like I need to rip some of my ETPs. I'm not gonna. Gifted by a Pokemon? Very cool. I wish I had like a cool card opening setup, but I don't have anything. I just have this. Alright, chat. I feel like we need to rip these. Which one do we do first? The Black Bolt or the White Flare? There's like the regular non Poke Center ETBs. Which one? What do you think? I don't even know like how I'm gonna do this. Not even I've never like ripped packs on the channel before. Alright, Black Bolts. I gotta open this now. Okay. Open this. Should have like had like scissors or like a knife or something. With my finger. Alright. I'm gonna open it on camera so the streets don't say it's rigged. Alright. Okay, there's the wrap off stuff. Can I like angle this down a little bit maybe? Maybe I should bump my whole. Yeah. I don't know. That's like that. Okay, anyway. Okay. Stuff. I'm not packs. My desk is now a mess. This I didn't even know this one existed, but there's a Thundurus. Neat. I did play with these energies at Worlds. They're pretty sick. I like the energies. The counters, the sleeves, all that stuff. I'll put it on the floor. I don't have space for this stuff. Okay. Got what's this? 9 packs, I think? Yeah. 9 packs of Black Bolt White Flare. Alright. Let's see. I don't even know how I'm gonna do this. Okay. I think just this is the way, right? We level. I don't even know, man. I just like usually just like skip like the bolt cards when I open and is that it? Hollow Bear Tick. That's so tough. And, like Pokeballs or anything? Oh, I did get a Pokeball Muna. That's really cool. Dude, I don't rip packs very much, man. Okay. Anything? Oh, that's a thing. Yo, double Rufflet? Is that a banger, chat? Yo, okay, so we got the drawing cards everywhere. We got the illustration. This card's really cool. I'd never seen it before. Illustration rare Rufflet. I don't know like, why the camera's not gonna focus on it, but yes, illustration rare Rufflet. That's cool. I've never seen this card before, but pretty sick. I don't really collect. I just really like just keep the cards that I win. Um, I don't really buy stuff aside from that. Okay. Oh my god, Elgium! Yes. Okay. Anything else in here? No. Volcarona, Drillbur. Oh, yeah. No Pokeballs or anything. I probably should like separate the hits. Dude, my dad, I don't have like enough desk space for. I'm gonna move the trash on the floor. That would be easier. My mic's probably taking me just throwing trash on the ground. Okay. Put the rufflet over here. Let me find the Pokeball. I think that's good. Okay. World looks what's cool. I yapped about it a lot. I'm okay. We got an EX and like wait. Okay, we got. Okay, that's just a Pokeball. That's not a Master Ball. And an Excadrill EX. Is this a banger, chat? I feel like it is. This is actually such a banger. Tough. No, Worlds was fun. I wish it would have gone better for me, but it was fun. As a bold player, how do you handle the Bukalinga matchup? Try to take the first two prizes. Either Fan Rotom Judge or Corner Punch stuff. Beartic, Pidove. Unlucky. We still have 4 packs left? Oh my gosh. Us control players, when you get the common Elegium and throw the hits. Bro, real. Okay. Cover Fossil. Oh, the whole energy? Is that tough? And a Prism energy? Oh. These are pretty cool. Alliance. Cool. Water energy. Sick. That's gotta be a hit, right? Oh, this is a Pokeball Prism energy as well. Cool. Very cool. Wow. I'm getting a lot of Pokeballs. Is that normal? I don't know. You're like the first pack to the set that I've ripped. I don't know. Is Cornerstone literally just shoving and swinging? No, you just need to take the first 2 prizes. Like, if Cornerstone lets you do that, sure. Okay. Was this pack upside down? I don't know. Dude, I pulled so many Bearticks, man. If this pack was just trash, no hits. All right, two Black Bolt packs left. Let's see. Oh, yes, a reverse hole Elegy. Oh wait, no. This is the hit. It's Arbor Haxorus. This card's really sick. I've also never seen this card before. That is pretty cool. Is this like lucky? Like, are like the hit rates on the art rares like this good? Yeah, I don't have any. I should have like sleeves. I could like plug endgame by sleeving up my cards with endgames. Bro, I'm such a bad. That's a huge hit. Okay. All right. I have no clue. Like if it's not like an SIR or something, another whole energy. Okay, that's about it for that pack. To get a Hollow Dark. Very cool. I can use it with my Grimmsnarl deck. Wow. Alright. So that was the Black Bolt, all the packs from the Black Bolt ETB, I believe. Yeah. So we'll go over all of them at the yeah. These are like the 2 main hits we got. Huge. Art rares. Tough. Very cool. Shout out Pokemon for gifting me stuff. Very kind. So yeah, I got 3 Pokeballs, a regular EX. 2 art. Wait, the Haxorus is $40? Sheesh! What a hit! Okay, wow. I had no clue, man. That's cool. Okay, and now we have the White Flare ETB. I gotta open this. Oh, actually, I got it immediately. I'm so tough. Alright. Some more trash on my desk. Huge. That's stuck to me. That's not kind. Buy the 3-pack blisters, not going Gothitelle control. I am not buying boosters. More trash to throw on the ground. Sick. Okay, got the Tornadus promo. Also never seen this card before, but cool. More energies, which I'm happy about. I like these. I like these. Full Mega Charizard, go buy it. Bro, I'm opening Black Bolt White Flare. What is your problem? And then, yeah, other stuff. All right. Anyway, throw it on the floor. Got like 9 boosters of Black Bolt White Flare. All right. Or no, wait. This is White Flare. I understand how these sets work, and they're like 2 separate sets. All right. Let's see. First pack of White Flare. That's Zoroark. Nothing. Unlucky. Like, of course, we get no hits out of the first pack. Not for original ETB sleeves. So Aura. Okay. Dude, no hit again. That's Scrafty a Pokeball. No. Dude. Alright. No hits out of the first 2 packs. What the heck? Red Routine bat? Dude, Routine is one of my favorite Pokemon. That would actually be so lit. Is that a Master Ball? Oh yeah. It is. Is this how rare are these? The Master Ball Gothita. Wow. Card's very shiny. I don't know why the camera is not like focusing in on the card. Should I put it over my face, I guess. Wow. The floor is bad. I have no clue. I do not rip products. I don't know. The wrong person to ask. Alright, let's see. Next pack. A jelly? Yo, that's actually really good. And a Hollow Energy? Yo, this pack was fire. Got the Jellicent EX and the Hollow Fighting Energy. Nice. Jellicent. Actually, I don't know if I have a Jellicent. IRL. Ooh, thanks, Big Pika. Sick. Alright, let's keep going here. Okay. That's like nothing. Chandelure, Tool Scrapper, Archon. Actually, so unlucky. You can use Yellow War Energy. I don't think anyone will care. Alright, next pack. Yo. Ooh, yo! Oh, wow! That... What? Bro! That's... like so many hits, man. That's the wrong card. What the heck's wrong with me? Oh, Lord, Hilda. That's actually so cool. It's like how I actually can use. I like using full art supporters. That's sick. We got the full arts Hilda. Okay, let me set that down real quick. That's sick. And we also got the illustration rare Embor. Both in the same pack. I knew that could happen, but like, I think that's sick. And it's the first time I've ever pulled a 2-hit pack. Huge. That's tough. Alright, huge pack. Full Hilda and the Embor. Pretty sick. Huge. Oh, and wait. And there was a Pokeball as well. Bro, that pack was lit. Wow. Okay. Big Pika's hooking me up right now. Triple hit. Huge. Back out of regular respect the grind set. Bro, you already know. Okay. Next pack, Hollow Metal, and is that another Master Ball, or is this just the Pokeball? I can't tell with like the camera. Is this a Pokeball? A Pokeball, I say Mask. There's no N. What the heck? Pokeball, Yamask, and a Metal Energy. I do like the Hollow Energies. I'm happy pulling those. Cool, dude. This ETB's been lit so far, and there's still 2 packs left. AOB Scout, bro. I'm gonna keep all these cards, man. What the heck? Double Zoroark? Is that a banger? And the Zorua? Oh my gosh! It's such a banger. Is it a banger? Wait, I should see if I pulled any Blitzles. I would actually be like so tough. Alright, last pack, chat. Please. I mean, I can't really complain. We've got some like sick hits from this box. I love the floor Harlequin for a minute. Alright, nothing out of that last pack, but I cannot complain at all. That was a really really dope ETB. So we got a couple Pokeballs, but the main hits were these 3. The Jelly, the Embor, and the full art Hilda, especially. This card's dope. Um, Very cool. And then the first Black Bolt ETB, we got the Rufflet and Haxorus illustration rare. So Blitzel Gen 4, Blitzel Gen 5, bro. Do not gaslight me. Okay, I do want to see if we pulled any Blitzels. I'm definitely keeping the Hilda. That card's dope. I'm keeping all these cards. They're gifted to me by Big Pika. Of course I'm keeping them. Did I pull any Blitzels? I wasn't like looking at the comments. So let's see. Alright, I missed the Hollow Grass Energy. Okay, man. Just dropped it too. Sick, man. Did I miss any other Hollow Energies like Pokeballs then? I may have, honestly. I got an Air Balloon. Is that Soft Shot? These energies are pretty dope. I don't even know what set the Blitzels in, bro. I don't even know. Joltik, that's... Did I not pull a Blitzel? Actually, it's so tragic if true. Did I not pull one? Dude, no way. Got a Frailish there. I didn't pull Blitzel. That's gotta be rigged. Dang. Unlucky. Alien Weasel? Bro, what is wrong with you? Get them graded. Oh, wait. Let them cook. Man. Well, that was cool. Now I have a bunch of trash on my desk. A bunch of pack wrappers and plastic and all kinds of junk. Let's go. Totem worth the inclusion in bowl. Yes, it's very good versus Guardy. Very good. You should play Blood Moon, or you're trolling. Someone was not employed. What does being employed have to do with knowing what Gen Blitzel's from? Okay. Anyway. I don't know. The debut pack opening stream I feel like was kind of tough. We got some crazy hits. Yeah, shout out to Pokemon TPCI, of course, for the gifting me the product. Very cool. I don't rip a lot, because it's like not very like you're not ever like really making money off of it, but cool nonetheless. It's fun to open a product. Go to polls, bro. Facts. You rip Gen 10 packs. That's not happening. Chat. Well, I don't have like anything else now. We yapped about worlds. We ripped all our hashtag gifted ETBs. Now what? No Gen 10 run, bro. We need the Gen 10 news. What the heck? Wait, is the next... Are we on Gen 9? I don't even know, man. On Gen 9, right? Okay. Gen 10 just sounds weird. It just doesn't sound right. Retire? Bro. That's crazy. Tell us a bedtime story? Nah, bro. Not happening. Maybe time to retire, though. High key. I'm like actually depressed. We did not pull any Blitzels. Thoughts of the charges that got revealed? Doesn't seem that good. It's like it's a pretty high maintenance attack. Like it's a pretty high maintenance one shot attack. So those are just like sometimes good, but it needs like more tricks. It's also like kind of bad that the Oricorio like depends on the Zard itself being in play. Like it doesn't do anything by itself. So it's gonna be like harder for it to be like a toolbox deck that we like kind of saw like Chimpao be. Doesn't seem like that amazing, but could be proven wrong if there's other like broken support cards that it gets. But its like stats are solid, I guess. Okay, chat. I don't know what to do anymore. Make too big. Okay. No wait, that's ow. Teleport everywhere. There we go. We're back. We'll like blast my attack like it's all day. Nah, bro, I'm tired. I don't want to like grind some poker. Uncle, gonna play the funny card game? If the funny card is Pokemon, yes, I will play it. Stream Bolt on ladder. I don't feel like playing Bolt right now, man. I just wanted to yap about Worlds and open packs, and now my job is done. I feel satisfied. I don't want to do anything else, but I don't know. Later this week we can stream a bunch of like the world stacks, like Zoroark. I can stream more Bolt if y'all want to see it. Like yeah, online tournaments ladder, whatever. Yeah. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'm tired. It's and want to get some I want to say too late that grinding ladder, but we'll have some crazy streams later, trust. So yeah. If y'all want me to like play a deck, just let me know in the Discord. And if a bunch of people like suggest the same thing, we can run it. Yeah. I head out for tonight. I appreciate y'all for hanging out. Supporting the stream as always. Worlds was pretty lit. I appreciate all y'all for like cheering me on at home. That was like Discord was blowing up. It was pretty sick. Where can you find the Discord? It's linked below. Why not still doing it or Koraidon? I don't think you need either one of those cards. Like you can still beat Joltik. Koraidon is just not a very good card in general. But yeah. I'm hang out for tonight. I appreciate all y'all. I'll be back sometime later this week. Probably like either tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, something like that. And then back on the weekend, of course. Yeah. Thank y'all for the support as always. And yeah, more cool things to come. Y'all have a great night.